We are the American Indians. Copper color Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space.
We are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby? I'm not no African. Nigga, you a lying motherfucker.
Yeah. Conscious. Matic. Alright, so far away I come from. I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense, but nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around and keep you stagnant, distraction. So you don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklins, them Grants, and them Jacksons. Imagine if we would've never chased our passion. We probably would've never knew what happened. They was all just talk, we showed action. Once they leave, don't you let them back in. Just pack up all their stuff and send them packing. I'm blacking on anybody thinking they could act up with me. This vibe ain't for free, cause where I'm at in life, I'm only focused on me. Note the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help, then fuck it, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf. If it's me, myself, and I, then it's no one else. Yeah. Self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, practice what you preaching, but clearly they not practicing entitlement and pride. Yeah, those two things they factor in. Spiral out of control just from all the bantering. When they accustomed to talking behind your back with all that chattering. I remove myself before I abuse myself. Talk about self-love, but you gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I won't act too good for no help. We all healing now. Said some things about me that ain't true. How you feeling now? Even at my lowest, they tried to find a way to bring me down. Big y'all up for years, ain't talking just the brand or the sound. I don't throw things around, I do it from the heart proud. Mama just wanna see her sunshine, removing them dark clouds.
Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself. ISO Dama. Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Yo, it's too many. Hey, it's too many. Yo, it's too many. Yo, it's too many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't gotta lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof. It's young conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof. ISO Dama. Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Yo, it's too many. Hey, it's too many. Yo, it's too many. Yo, it's too many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't gotta lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof. It's young conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof. Ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the dudes. Yeah, it's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe. We on the roof, smoking dope, look at the view. Yeah, we used to chill on the stoop, now we out here breaking the news. It ain't what you really could do, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't switch side with no crews, we just stayed out of the loop. Now we out here letting it loose. Every shot we took it was swoosh. Gotta get it, ain't no excuse. Ain't left to prove. Hey, yeah, hey. There's so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Yo, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many.
Yeah. Ask them a real question, yeah, I bet it's all lies. Hey, they won't cross that line for a fact that's offsides. Hey, too much penalties when they run this back, yeah, it's fines. Hey, could have been here with us, but we do not force no vibes. Hey, she gon' ride the whip and let me park it in the driveway. They just want the praise like they Yahweh. Getting so much bread, yeah, the ride way. We done already won, yeah, that's worth the ride way. But they still lying right through their teeth, and they still hiding behind many truths. They was D9, watch my every move, tell them keep fine. Leave that shit on scene, I ain't replying. Less I know you, that don't mean I'm Hollywood. That just mean I'm Hollywood. All y'all, I probably stood on the falls, all cause. More times I probably should. I don't know nobody like us. You see how much time it took.
Yeah, hey, there's so many lies, so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies, so many, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many. Hey, there's too many lies, hey. Yeah, I saw.
Hey, y'all!
Down.
Hey! Oh!
Down.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies.
Lies. Hey, y'all. Hoo-hoo. What's good, y'all? Hey, Twitter. Yo, y'all hit the like button. Oh, it's hot, stanky, and funky up in here. Hey, big dog. Hey, girly. You get some sleep, girl. Girly. You get some sleep. Hey, Rodney, baby. Hey, girly, beautiful. What's good? Aboriginal, a rising Aboriginal. How do? Hey, D. Allen Warren. Flat motherfucking power. The realest N-word alive. Brown liquor, no ice. Hey, Carlos. Finally, I see your little button here instead on the community tab. Everybody watching on Twitter, please, y'all, please hit the like button, please. Please, please, please. We can get this rolling. Come on, y'all. Hit the like. Y'all, let's get it. Let's get it. So today, yeah, you did get sleep. I did too. I went back to sleep. It was hard to go back because I had went to bed earlier than 8 o'clock. I was watching that bugged out movie. Hey, buddy, boo boo. Buddy, baby. I was watching that bugged out movie. Hey, Lady Moon, boo boo. That bugged out movie Brother Sanchez was talking about. Oh, my God. I forgot the damn name of the movie, but he mentioned it. It's a series on Netflix, and it's bugged out. I forgot the name. Y'all Flat Power folks probably seen the series. It's something about these people somewhere over in China, and they was playing this game, and they put the helmet on their head. It was bugged out. I watched all 6 episodes, and they put this metal thing on their head, and all of a sudden they're in these ancient times, and they go to game 1 through 4 or something like that. I forgot, but we'll be finding this bugged out stuff. I think when people, oh my goodness, as soon as he get in here, I'm going to ask him, Sammy. I sat and watched all, and they're not long episodes, and it's bugged out, and they we always beat them because they want to take over our world. And this woman, her father was a oh God, I want to say a physicist, and they got tortured in China because they practiced physics and was seeing things the way United States did. It was bugged out, but he taught his daughter, and this child was able to take a satellite and turn it to the damn sun and be able to communicate with aliens. It's bugged out. It scared the shit out of me. And and they figured out a way to win the war with us because every time United States would catch them and they had to figure and they always lose. They United States would always catch them trying to invade our country as aliens. And at the end, they so-called had to figure out a way to oh get rid of our powers. It was just bugged out. Yeah. The yes, that's it. You know what? I really think Willie and people, Flat Earth World, they be getting their little smoke on, and then they find these bugged out movies. They find these bugged out. It was bugged out. Oh my goodness. And when I watched that movie, I'm telling you, go watch it, y'all. It's what Sammy said it is. The book is probably better because when they make the movie, um, it's they always remove stuff. But watch the series too and read the book. Or if you're gonna watch the series, I would say read the book first. Or no, because then you're gonna get mad when they make the movie and you read the book and everything that's in the book. I don't even need these on. Nobody's on the panel. You read the book and everybody you it's gonna spoil. So I don't know. Watch the series, girl. But it's because it's bugged out. And I was looking around and stuff and looking outside to see if the way that they put us, how Brother Sanchez said we in a little bar inside. It's just bugged out. It's the stuff he be talking about, and it scared the shit out of me. That's probably why I couldn't go back to sleep. Because then I'm waking up arguing with Y2K's little goofy ass. Anyway, so I got 5 articles I want to read and vibe about. I didn't feel like doing those slides, I swear, today. I said, you know what? Let me find some really good political argument articles to write about. But watch that on Netflix, y'all. The 3-body problem. Watch that, please. It's good. That's what it's called on Netflix. Watch it tonight. But anyway, let me get into this article. This first article that I'm about to read. It's about Ramona Edelin, who helped popularize the term African American. She died at 78. May she rest in peace. But I want to read that article because she was standing there behind Jesse Jackson. So let's read, and we're going to find some interesting things out to really think about, y'all. Listen. All right. Ramona Edelin, who helped popularize the term African American, dies at 78. And that's a little behind right there. Okay. May she rest in peace. She is a boomer. Ramona Edelin, an academic turned activist who helped popularize the term African American in the late 1980s through her association with the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson, and who had later helped make charter schools a dominant force in D.C. education, died February 19th at her home in Washington. She was 78. So she's boomer, late boomer. My mom's era, of course, the 40s, they born. Her death, which was not widely reported at this time, was confirmed by Barnaby Towns, a communication strategist who worked with Dr. Edelin. The cause was cancer, he said. May she rest in peace. Restfully. Raised during the tumult of the civil rights movement when she was ostracized by white classmates at schools in Georgia and Illinois. Dr. Edelin went into academia with encouragement from her mother, Annette Lewis Finazzi, the first woman to earn a doctorate in library science from Columbia University. Dr. Edelin went on to receive a PhD in philosophy, writing her dissertation on civil rights activist Webb Du Bois, and helped launch the Afro American Studies Department at Northeastern University in Boston in 1973, serving as the program's first chair. Under her leadership, the department soon changed its name to African American Studies. How about that shit? It went from Afro American to African American Studies, embracing language that had circulated among scholars but was seldom used by the general public. You damn right it was seldom used. Look at this African American Summit in 1989 with Messy Jesse's ass. And there she go right there with her mouth wide open, trying to promote this bullshit. Dr. Edelin on the left with old Reverend Messy Jesse Jackson in 1989. I just got out of high school. I was working for the state back then. African American Summit in New Orleans. That's where they was at. That began to change more than a decade later when the term African American was adopted by 75 national black leaders in the lead up to a 1989 gathering called the African American Summit. Now, 75 leaders. None of them was no leaders for me. And who the hell they think they leading? They not no damn politicians that are in Congress. The meeting was convened by Jackson, the civil rights leader and former presidential candidate who embraced the term African American and was widely credited with inspiring its widespread usage. Yeah, because he was going to be a former presidential candidate. He was a former presidential candidate, but his little ass ain't win. And that's good for his little poppy eye ass. By all accounts, he and other black leaders in the group decided to adopt the term at the suggestion of Dr. Edelin, may she rest in peace, who had traded scholarship for accuracy and was leading the National Urban Coalition. Yo, she was leading the National Urban Coalition, all right? Not the National African Coalition. There wasn't no African. I keep telling y'all, don't be blaming this shit on the white man. Our people did this shit. Bullshit. And maybe they ass is, but Jesse ass, and wait till I do her genealogy. Okay, so it says Dr. who had traded scholarship for advocacy and was leading the National Urban Coalition, a Washington-based nonprofit. I told y'all, us nonprofits be that shit. While helping organize the summit, Dr. Edelin argued that they should refer to themselves as African Americans instead of blacks. Because y'all know, when we didn't go to Oklahoma and we stayed and remained, the Indians that remained, they put us as B. They classified us as B, not Indians, on the damn census sheets. Because it wasn't nobody but black folks and white folks. The term offered historical context, she said, and linked black Americans to the global African diaspora. Yo, what global African diaspora? Not on the mainland, lady, because we got your ass. We coming. Watch this, y'all. The idea caught on. She told the Boston Globe, "You could feel it. We can't feel shit." Because I know my grandmother wasn't feeling that shit. My mama, nobody. They're like, "What the fuck?" I asked my mom, I said, "Mom, did you go for the African American thing with Jesse Jackson?" And you know my mother's mouth is horrible like mine. "No, that old Popeye nigga. Hell no." At a December 1988 news conference in Chicago, Jackson announced the preference for African American, speaking for summit organizers that included Dr. Eldon, all right, Edelin, that lady, may she rest in peace, NAACP leader Benjamin L. Hooks, civil rights activist C. Dolores Tucker, and former Gary, Indiana mayor Richard Hatcher. Now listen, just as we were called colored, but we're not that. Yo, hey, yo, hold up right there. What were we called before colored? What the hell was we called before colored? Just as we were called colored, but not that. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a motherfucking minute. Yo, see, this is the shit that I'm
Wait, getting so much bread, so much bread.
Yo, just as we were called colored, all right, but we're not that. We wasn't, because that's what we was called first. So what were we before we were colored? Let's go. No mentioning of Africa back then. No mention of we were called African back back there when we was called colored. All right. No mentioning of Africa back then when we was called colored. So what were we? If we called colored, what were we before that? We were the Indians that remained. Yep. On our own lands and that did not go to Oklahoma. But we're not that. And then Negro, but not that. To be called black is just as baseless. You damn right. What were we before colored, Negro, and black? Let's go, goddammit. Let's go. What were we? You know damn well we were the Indians that remained. All of them is just as baseless, he said, adding that African American has cultural integrity and puts us in our proper historical context. Oh, really? 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 It does? Why you never talked about ships back then, motherfucker? What ships did we come in on? Prove it, Jesse, Messi, Dolores, Richard, Benjamin. Oh, we about to figure this out. We gonna get it in, y'all. Let's go. Right here. But the beautiful thing about it, none of these black leaders was representing us. No power to represent us. No representation. Weeks later, the New York Times published a front page story reporting that many African Americans agreed with Jackson. Okay, fine. But who? Who were they? because ain't a damn soul got African American on their goddamn birth certificates up to including this date. So you're lying. The term has already shown up in the newest grade school textbooks, been adopted by several black, listen, y'all, been adopted by several black-run radio stations and newspapers around the country, all right, and appeared in the titles of popular books and in the conversations of many blacks as they warm to the idea and speak of visiting Africa one day, wrote journalist Isabel Wilkinson. I don't give a fuck if they put it on the radio, the newspapers, and popular books. I ain't never said I was going no damn Africa. Because we didn't know what the fuck was going on. Even when Roots came out, trying to pave the way. Get your ass out of here. There were still plenty of holdouts. Yep, you damn right. There were still plenty of holdouts. You damn right. Some critics found African American too wordy and worried that it was less powerful than black, which evoked memories of the Black is Beautiful campaign of the 1960s. Yo, here my little ass come being born. Others dismiss the name change debate as a distraction, saying that it was far less important than issues like unemployment, drug addiction, and economic inequality. For years, polls showed no strong consensus around the use of black or African American. You damn right. You damn right. Because they wasn't speaking for every goddamn body. Just like they said, many blacks, but not all of them, honey. The majority of them like, fuck no. And today it's even worse. Both terms remain in widespread use. Dr. Edelin saw it. The question of terminology was about far more than a name. Calling ourselves African American is the first step in the cultural offensive. Ha! She told Ebony Magazine, linking the name change to a cultural renaissance and the black Americans reconnected with their history and heritage. What history and heritage, bitch? Because we ain't culturally like Africa. Never have and never will be. Speak for your damn self. I tell you, these island people keep coming over here with this shit. You better take your ass to the British Islands with that bitch. Who are we if we don't acknowledge our motherland? She asked in a separate interview. America is my motherland, damn it. America is my motherland. That's why I say these people do not speak for our brown-skinned folks. All skin folks ain't kin folks. When a child in the ghetto calls himself African American, immediately he's international. You've taken him from the ghetto and put him on the globe. Get your ass out here. We've been on the globe. Dr. Edelin's interest in economic and educational issues deepened during her years at the National Urban Coalition, which she joined in 1977. I was 11 years old. As an executive assistant to M. Carl Holman, the group's longtime leader. She succeeded him as president and chief executive, leading the organization from 1988 to 1998, while overseeing programs that included a STEM initiative to promote math and science education, especially among children of color. Now we back to color. Children of color. Her work led to appointments on educational panels and civic task forces, including as a member of the President's Board of Advisors on historically black colleges and universities during the Clinton administration. She also served for 4 years as executive director of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, a group of devils. Charter school advocate. How much more we got to go? Because I don't feel like reading all this. Yeah, that's enough. I don't feel like reading this. This is about the charter school. So I'll put this copy in the chat. There's the article if y'all want to read it. Hold up now. Now let me tell y'all. Now you see who the culprits are, the NAACP and all these people. But they wasn't representing us because they didn't bring their asses to Connecticut. Oh, no, they didn't. I know Doc Hank would have threw something at their ass, some damn eggs or something. My grandmother, not that Indian lady. Oh, no. We don't know none of them. So a lot of us in here don't have to worry about them because they're not our representatives. We weren't part of those nonprofit organizations. We weren't members or anything like that. So they're not talking about you. If your parent wasn't a member of their organization, you ain't got to worry about them. Seriously. They could try it, but they get their ass on up out of here. So that's one article. Let's go to this. Let's go to this politically incorrect sheriff. But before I go, I want to hear what y'all think about this. Let me see in the chat. Let me see what y'all saying about that article. Pride, one of the 7 deadly sins. I never heard of any. Let me see. Bad Saint said, well, pretty self. She said, never have I ever heard of anyone calling themselves African American. Black, yes. African American, no. Right? Let me see. Jeremiah, hey, honey. He said, first American, now a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races, because that's damn sure what we were. We was colored. Found here by the Europeans. Baltimore all day. Baltimore all day. The Allen one was like, facts, Sister Bathy. Let's see. Cock and bull, or since you said, cock and bull story. Hollywood Armistice ship. Now, let me see. Charles Clark said, Indian Virginia, Indian Alabama, Indian Carolina, India cotton, tobacco, and rice. Hey, Straight Smoke. Juarez, original Skywalker. Hey, y'all. So now we know who the culprits are. Okay? Now we know who the culprits are. But we got their asses. And so we going to read other stories that confirms they bullshit. So let's and say, I keep telling y'all got to be listening when them goddamn Africans went. Because over here, with white colonizers was in power, they was not bringing no niggas. No. Over here to outnumber them. Ben Franklin stated that shit. And we gonna tell you, they're going to tell you where they went. But let's take a breather from that and get into this politically incorrect sheriff. from Florida. Hey, Bridget, darling. Let me see. We're going to read about him. Check this out, y'all. Politically incorrect sheriff tells citizens to shoot to kill home invaders to save taxpayer money. Because y'all know they got these damn squatters running up in people's house and shit. And we don't know if they immigrants or who they could be or the Moors. But he told they call them politically incorrect. Fair use. Sheriff tells citizens to shoot to kill home invaders to save taxpayers money. And there his ass is. I'm not going to turn it on. And it's kind of ironic that since the press conference, we haven't had any home invasion and it's been over. So it's kind of but you don't have a duty to retreat. If you're in your home and it's trying to commit a crime against you, you don't have to treat. You don't have to give them warning. You don't have to barricade yourself in the room. You can shoot and kill them. That's a Florida sheriff. That's what he said. Fair use. But I ain't want to play the video. That's why I like Florida. Florida sheriff responded to the criticism and praise he has received for his viral comments about encouraging citizens to use the kill shot against home invaders. During a press conference in April 22, Santa Rosa County Sheriff Bob Johnson said, goddamn Johnsons, if someone is breaking into your house, you're more than welcome to shoot. We prefer you to do that, actually. The comments have gone viral against in juxtaposition to a story in New York where a woman was arrested for trying to remove squatters from her damn property. Johnson told Fox News Digital in an interview that he stands by his comments and that it's a no-brainer. I said at the press conference, if you shoot accurately and you kill the guy, you save taxpayers money. And I also said that if somebody gets killed during a home invasion, the odds of them reoffending are 0. And we like those odds. We do, which we do. He told Fox News Digital. City launches probe into equity officer who called police white supremacists, wants to burn it all down. We'll get to that one. Let me finish reading. And in Santa Rosa County, we have a very high percentage of the population that have weapons. And I promote the use of them. If you're in your house and somebody kicks your door in because they're not coming in to give you a hug or to give you cookies, they're coming in to commit felonies. The incident Johnson addressed at the 2022 press conference was not a squatter situation like the story in New York, but a home invasion. Since he made remarks, he claimed there has not been a single home invasion. And it's kind of ironic that since the press conference, we haven't had any home invasions, and it's been over a year. So it's kind of odd, he said. The sheriff touted Florida's stand your ground law, which say residents do not have a legal duty to retreat, i.e., making a reasonable effort to escape from an attacker. You don't have to retreat. You don't have to give them warning. You don't have to barricade yourself in a room. You can shoot and kill them. And if in the state of Florida, that's perfectly legal, he said. And in these other states where they don't have that, people are afraid to own guns and they're afraid to protect themselves. That's why you have the crime rate in New York and in California. The sheriff said their response time for 911 calls is generally around 3 to 5 minutes, but that a criminal can do a lot of damage to law-abiding citizens during that time period. Therefore, he encourages citizens to arm themselves and protect themselves. He also offers weekly training classes to citizens on gun safety and to help them improve their shot. Yo, I want to link up with this dude. We need some. We got some sexy officer friendlies here in Connecticut that love to teach you, and they love you for that. When you come in and tell them that in case of a war, we got to be ready, honey. They be having smiley faces here in Connecticut. Johnson explained that he's not trying to mince words or distort the truth as he sees it, even though the response had led to death threats. How the fuck you gonna death threat the police? For you know what? He armed, so he know what to do. After my press conference, I was getting death threats by the hundreds every day. And I had another interviewer ask me, Are you worried about that? And I said no, because all the death threats are coming from states where you can't buy a damn gun anyway. So I really don't give a you know what. He told, and I don't blame him. Johnson received some backlash for his comments, including critics in an NPR article saying the sheriff was aggravating racial tensions. Well, I don't think so. The sheriff told Fox News the offender in this particular case was white. Hello. See? Stop the bullshit. See, this be them Democratic news stations trying to pump up shit, saying that they aggravating racial tensions. And at this point, it was a fucking white guy. Just like down here in Connecticut, the Cheshire Home invasion. Look that shit up. That shit was horrifying. Look it up. And that was two white guys following some woman and her daughter home from the read it, man. That got me boiling. That's what made me go and get my shit. I come out the grocery store, I'm standing my goddamn ground. And I'm not even going to call no, you know what, let me stop. Because I will get pissed right here. Just thinking about that Cheshire Home invasion. I wish I was a fly on the wall with a damn 9mm. When they say it's critically motivated, the person who said that must be racially motivated because they're assuming that only minorities break into homes, which is not the case. So you're fucking lying, bitch or motherfucker who said that. The individual I was speaking about was Caucasian. So bitch, back the fuck up. Get to the motherfucking back of the bus right behind Rosa Parks with your bullshit. Y'all motherfuckers always doing this shit. He added that most elected officials tried to be politically correct, but that he ran for office as a cop. And so they elected a cop here as sheriff. And I speak like a cop. You damn right. Speak like a cop. Because you shouldn't be breaking in nobody's fucking house, horrifying them. And probably they got their little babies in there and stuff. I don't give a fuck what the color of the people are. So I stand behind you. And I march right up to the NRA door and say, nope, you got it wrong. Go and recamp that motherfucking statement. Because I'm standing my damn ground. Get your ass out of here. You ain't taking away no gun right from this crazy Indian woman. I'm going to tell it like it is. Ooh, see, this is the kind of man I like. He said, I don't care about political correctness. I'm going to tell it like it is. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But it's the way it is, Johnson said. I say what I want. I say what people want to hear. You damn right. They want to hear that their rights are going to be protected and that they'll be protected in their own goddamn home. You damn right. Because when they invaded our homes and made us leave off our lands, we had them old one gunshot. But now 9mm, take all your asses out. Johnson said he is able to speak freely because of Governor Ron DeSantis. Support the law enforcement and the Second Amendment. I do too. Before, when I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, because all those kids down here in Newington school that touched my heart. But I was holding signs up, but I woke the fuck up and smelt the coffee because somebody's crazy ass kid went in some school and did that shit. But just because somebody kid did, you ain't gotta take away the rights from law-abiding citizens. So I recant my shit. He loves the citizens of Florida and the criminals. They get a tough time in the state, and it's because of him and his leadership, he said. As an elected official, like I said, my number one fundamental responsibility is the protection of the citizens of Santa Rosa County. And I think letting them protect themselves, especially in their homes, is a smart thing to do, Johnson continued. I think we have a great bunch of citizens out there that love guns. And hey, I'm proud of them. I am too. Fuck what you heard. These motherfuckers talk about take your gun laws away from you and shit. Them motherfuckers got the best guns. The ones fighting for you to not have your gun. And them motherfuckers got guns and the ass caked in the middle of their ass and their ankles. Shit. And then gonna go and try to say take the gun laws away. The very ones that's carrying the best guns. Oh hell no. Because I'm gonna have some between my titties, bullets underneath my titties, so I can have a lot of ammunition. In between my butt line, everywhere. And my socks. I'm gonna be loaded. So I'll copy. Y'all can read that article. Paste. Oh, it's too big. All right, it's not gonna let me. Whatever. Find it. So that's that one. So we'll get that out the way. So now we'll read New York City begins giving illegal immigrants prepaid debit cards as part of 53 million pilot program. So let me share this while we read. This is probably too good. Copy. Oh. Paste. Oh, that's too big to give y'all. God damn. All right, so I don't know why this is doing this. This is stupid. So I want to get into Eric Adams' butt begins giving illegal immigrants prepaid debit cards. So let's see what that's all about. We getting into the good stuff, y'all. We getting there. New York City begins giving illegal immigrants prepaid debit cards as a part of 53 million pilot program. Officials in New York have begun giving out prepaid debit cards to migrant families residing in the Big Apple. The first batch of debit cards, which are reportedly meant to be used by the illegal immigrants to purchase food and baby supplies, were handed out Monday to a handful, y'all. See, that's why I said don't believe the hype. To a handful of migrant families in the city. New York City Mayor Eric Adams' office confirmed to Fox News a handful of migrants. The effort is part of a reported $53 million pilot program to hand out prepaid credit cards so migrant families housed in hotels despite public outcry. The program, which the mayor's office confirmed, will provide migrant families of 4 with 2 children under 5 with up to $350 each week until the end of their stay. began with a limited number of families on Monday and will expand to about 115 families, or roughly 460 people, okay, over the next week. So now, yo, first of all, when I look at this damn picture, that's Eric with his Indian ass. Because you ain't from Africa, Eric. Cut the bullshit. I already did your genealogy. And you're not from Africa. So kill it. So when I look at this, look at the dude with the white hat on. Okay. He supposed to be an illegal immigrant. First of all, he got a damn cell phone. Look at their sneakers. Nice sneakers. Backpacks. Fresh haircuts. Yo, what the fuck? Haircuts. They with the bullshit, y'all. Propaganda shit. The prepaid cards may only be used at bodegas, grocery stores. Oh, the prepaid cards may only be used at bodegas, grocery stores, supermarkets, and convenience stores. Migrants eligible for the program must sign an affidavit stating they will only spend the funds on food and baby supplies, or else they could lose access to the funds because they could track what you buy. Adams' office said. Additionally, the mayor's office confirmed that the pilot program was launched using a phased approach, starting with only a few hotels. City officials have noted that the cards will be loaded with 1 week's worth of funds at a time and that their use would be monitored because they can monitor what your ass buy. The cards are reportedly being distributed at the city's arrival center, the Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan, to the migrant families who are staying at hotels that are being used as emergency shelters. New Jersey company Mobility Capital Finance has partnered with the city to run the program. In a statement to Fox News Digital, a City Hall spokesperson noted that New York City was excited about launching the effort, describing it as a cost-saving measure that will replace the city's current system of providing non-perishable food boxes to migrant families staying in hotels, much of which is often discarded. A large part of our success is due to our constant work to find new ways to better serve the hundreds of individuals and families arriving every single day, as well as the long-time New Yorkers experience homelessness who are already in our care, the spokesperson said. This is why we are excited to launch an innovative cost-saving pilot program with Mobility Capital Finance to distribute prepaid cards to migrant families to purchase only food and baby supplies. Look at this shit, y'all. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. See, now, when you talk about bringing slaves over here, they know that they cannot bring slaves over here to work. They can't. They can't. They can no longer ship them over here to work. They can't. So, what the United States said, well, y'all get here, we'll take care of you. You got to get here on your own, some way on your own. Because now it doesn't look like human trafficking and transporting slaves to the Americas because they walking their asses in here now. instead of meeting them somewhere in South America, Central America, and Mexico to give them a quick ship ride, okay, to Ellis Island. Yo, this shit is the same thing that been going on. That's why all these big store chains close, because they couldn't find people to fill them jobs. Now, when you go in them jobs, you see people that can barely speak English working in McDonald's, um, Chili's, all the major chain restaurants, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, because these young kids today here from Americas, they're like, fuck that. I'm not working no 40 hours just to get 80 damn dollars. So guess who'll do it? The third world country people that can walk right over the damn border. Now they can come in. We can't come to your country and get you. But if you could get a ride to Mexico and cross the border, we'll let you in. Voluntary servitude. Not only will this provide families with the ability to purchase fresh food for their culturally relevant diets and the baby supplies of their choosing, but a pilot program is expected to save New York City taxpayers more than $600,000 per month and $7 million per year, the spokesperson added. The prepaid cards can be used exclusively at selected stores to ensure the money is spent on food and baby supplies. Under the pilot program, which is expected to last for 6 weeks, it's just 6 weeks, migrants will receive more money from the city than the state gives to low income and elderly New Yorkers under SNAP benefits. According to the state's website, single households are eligible for up to $291 a month in SNAP benefits, aimed at providing low-income working people, senior citizens, the disabled, and others money to buy food products. The migrant pilot program also hands out more than 2 times the amount the state gives money in services for single veterans. See that shit? Fox News' Brian Lennis reported last month. Mayor Adams, with your stinking butt, a Democrat, has vehemently defended the program and the misinformation surrounding it. Appearing before a state legislative budget hearing in Albany last month, Adams said, "We're not giving people American Express cards." Oh, be quiet, you little rascal. See, like we said, our people have a lot to do with slavery. Okay? Seeing the same shit. We're not going to keep blaming this on the white guy. But on our lands, we were our own owners of our own families working on the land. And when the child get tired, what they do? They ready to run away and get away. We found that the food delivery service that we set up during the emergency, we could find a better way to do it in our belief that we want to cut 20% of the migrant costs. So we have a pilot project with 500 people that we are giving them food cards. So instead of a debit card, instead of having to deliver food and have people eat food, we were seeing wasting food. They're now able to get their own food that is going to be spent $12 a day, he said, at a time. So we are going to save money on delivery. We're going to save money on people wasting food. And this is a pilot project we're going to use that is going to save us $6.7 million a year, he added. And if the pilot turns out to be successful, then we're going to expand it not only with the migrants and asylum seekers. We look to do that expansion throughout the entire system, trying to find a smarter, more cost-effective ways to deal with this crisis that was dropped in our lap. The mayor's explanation came in February during an annual hearing known as Tin Cup Day, when mayors make budgetary requests. So I'm not reading the rest, but y'all get the drift. So because they gave up, they stopped the slavery, they had to think of greater ways so that it could keep going on in these modern times. They can't ship them in here from another country into United States. They can't bring them in by a boat, like the Kuta Kinte story, the fake ass bullshit story. They've always had to have a backup plan to replace the laboring of the Indians here. They always had a plan B. And that plan was bringing in immigrants. But they can no longer ship them in. So they tell them, get here. And other countries, you better believe it. How you coming from way other countries through this border, to Texas, California, Canada, all these different, Ellis Island. Okay. So they're coming in on their own so that it can't be perceived as human trafficking, slavery, shipment of slavery for low wages. So now it looks more like, oh, I'm running for asylum. I'm running for asylum. Okay. And all this bullshit. I'm running. And y'all know what, that is asylum. The protection granted by a nation to someone who has left their native land, country, as a political refugee. So they're running over here for asylum. Why they ain't running their ass to China? Why they coming here? Because the United States need more slaves to replace the little niggas that's all locked up that can't work. And the niggas that want to work from home now and don't want to work at Wendy's, McDonald's, Walmart for that hard labor, standing on their goddamn feet for 8 hours to get a check for $120 a week. Prior to immigration, we nigga Indians was the laborers. Because this is the story you hear when you hear them say, when they reconstructed United States to a different way. And prior to that, it was always the Indians were enslaved. We were the enslaved. And it always been that way. Until we actually finally join the fucking United States like idiots. Okay. And agreed for them to have jurisdiction over us in whatever fucking state we was in. And okay, yes, those that remained automatically became citizens because they was like, oh, bitch, you don't want to leave and go to Oklahoma on your damn reservation? All right, stay in your house because, bitch, you're the Indian that remain. Now we gonna have jurisdiction over you. And if you living in our jurisdiction, we going to impose tax laws on your Indian ass. Because you're not going in as no Indian. No, the hell you ain't. B, as in boy, when the census came around, black. Not brown, but black. You are black at now. And now you're going to be taxed. Tax. We don't do no fiat. We don't do no money shit. We do trading. I don't give a fuck. Take your ass to Oklahoma. Like we told you to go. You're going to stay there. We're going to tax you. You don't pay your taxes. You got 24 hours to get the fuck off the land because you owe the town taxes. We taking your house, your land. You ain't pay your tax bill. Still doing the same shit to this motherfucking day. Taxing Indians that remained. Reclassified them from what they was. Like Jesse said with his goofy ass, just like we were called colored, but we're not that. Well, what the fuck was we before that? Copper color races found here by the European, meaning the motherfucking Indians. That's what an American is. Copper color races found here by the Indians. I know damn well I'm copper colored. I'm not black. My microphone is black. I'm light brown and sexy brown. So when you Europeans be talking about black, don't be calling me no black. I'm Indian. I'm that Indian red you talking about. With that Cran Cuddy show. Indian red. I'm sexy brown. All you Europeans, when you see me, I'm Cocoa Baby. Cocoa Brown. But anyway, that's the slavery. But this time, them motherfuckers is walking. They ain't coming in on a ship in chains like Roots and Kuta Kinte's story, fake ass story. Them motherfucker walking in here and Jordans with no motherfucking chains yoked around their neck. And they walking right through New York. They walking in there, a whole different story from the motherfucking Root story, where all these few white guys came and snatched them out of Africa and shit. Bullshit story. And brought all these niggas over here on a slave ship. Oh, it's different these days. They done modernized it up. Them bitches troop walked up in this bitch with Jordans on, okay? Cell phones and shit. For real. We can't bring your own ships. Okay? You gotta have to walk in. That way, they won't think that we're doing human trafficking and bringing slaves. Little Indian niggas that's already here. A lot of them Pookie rabies is locked up. And we need more niggas. A fresh load of them. So that's that story. And that little standoff in Texas. This came out. Let's quickly do this and we read a good one last. We always save the best for last, y'all. Let me do a share screen. We got one more after this. The standoff at Gate 36, Texas sends in the troops to block migrants from seeking asylum. That was 9 hours ago. All right. Look at this shit. I'm looking at the pictures. They blocking them. Scores of migrants kneeling, wait to be processed at the border last week after breaking through the militarized zone at Gate 36 and Ciudad Juarez and entering the U.S. There was a time when migrants arriving here would cross the Rio Grande, make their way to a gate in the border fence, and turn themselves into federal agents to claim asylum. That was before Texas Governor Gregory Abbott turned Gate 36 into a militarized zone, fortified by rifle-toting soldiers, a fleet of Humvees, and a forest of razor wire glistering in the desert. Greg Abbott. So, oh, I thought I was doing a share screen. Hold on, y'all. There it is. All right, Greg Abbott. So, it looks like a prison. Mario Jesus Nazareno said Saturday afternoon, gazing north across the river. The 47-year-old former boxer had just arrived at the border after traveling for weeks from his native Ecuador. He hoped to make his way to Florida, where he has relatives. Now he and hundreds of others were stuck. The governor's aim is to prevent migrants from reaching the gate, part of the 30-foot high steel border wall built during the Trump presidency, and thus deny them a chance to apply for political asylum or other forms of relief that could allow them to remain in the United States. Yeah. God damn. You know what? This some bullshit. Look how nice his hair look. Will he get a haircut before he came through? And you know what? Look at what he got on. The shorts with them black damn stockings and his sneakers. Yo, that's that Black Lives Matter shit. Yo, you know what? I can't with these people. And they told his little ass probably to pose for the picture. Yo, all we want to do is give ourselves up, said David Arua, 33, who traveled for months from his home in northern Venezuela. But the army won't let us. It was yet another day in the standoff at Gate 36. Immigration enforcement has long been the domain for the federal government, but Texas is challenging that at a time when record numbers of migrants are arriving at the U.S. southern border. It is. Let me skip this ad. Look. Protesters march against Texas immigration Senate bill. No tiene fronteras. If they're using profiling you a certain way. Look at Greg Abbott. Abbott has been amping up Operation Lone Star, the crackdown he launched 3 years ago using National Guard troops and state police to deter illegal immigration and narcotic smuggling, and draw attention to what he argues is the Biden administration's failure to control the border. The Texas governor has been trying to enact a statute passed last year known as Senate Bill 4 that would allow state and local authorities to arrest migrants simply for being in the country illegally. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which put a temporary hold on the law last week, is scheduled to hear arguments in the case early next month. The White House considers the statute an unconstitutional infringement on federal authority, an argument that many expect to wind up before the Supreme Court. The legal battle is playing out at the moment when the border has emerged a major campaign issue in this national election year. For evidence of Abbott's intensifying get tough tactics, look no further than Gate 36, where Abbott first deployed National Guard soldiers and state police in 2022. I don't blame him. Get their ass, Abbott. Last week, after scores of immigrants clashed with Texas troops, broke through the militarized zone at Gate 36, and surrendered to the Border Patrol, Abbott declared that his units had sealed the breach. The Texas National Guard and Department of Public Safety quickly regained control and are redoubling the razor wire barriers, Abbott wrote on X. DPS is instructed to arrest every illegal illegal immigrant involved for criminal trespass and destruction of property. Soon, a reinforcement um, phalanx of troops and riot helmets was staring down a be, bedraggled array of border crossers living in an encampment on the trash-strewn U.S. bank of the Rio Grande, barely a trickle of times at times. Scores of makeshift tents, mostly blankets and sheets strung from wood poles, stretched for several hundred yards between the water and the razor wire. A few yards away, heavy construction equipment pushed new sections of fencing into place. A recorded voice from a megaphone warned migrants that they could be arrested for damaging the razor wire. Despite the tensions between the Biden administration and the Texas governor's office, Border Patrol officials said federal and state authorities coordinate closely at Gate 36 and other areas. Obviously, Operation Lone Star is a state initiative, not a federal one. But we are there and we cooperate, said the Border Patrol official, who was not authorized to speak publicly. Many of the migrants have traveled for months from South America and beyond, crossing oceans, jungles, mountains, cities and deserts, and transcontinental odyssey. Some heard of Gate 36 long before arriving. Migrants come and go at the camp, leaving behind the artifacts of their existence. And their artifacts are what? A toothbrush, a pair of spectacles, a washed out identification card, a handwritten letter, shreds of clothing clinging to barbed wire, and bushes like tattered Christmas ornaments. There are no toilets or clean water. Migrants sprint across a 6-lane highway to buy food, water, and other necessities at an OXXO convenience store. I never imagined that this place would be so horrible, said Elizabeth Carrillo, 31, who was traveling with her daughters, Maria, 15, and Cerilius, 5, two of the many children in the camp. But we're going to wait until we can get across, said Carrillo, who ran a beauty shop back in Venezuela. She and her girls hiked through the jungle wilderness known as the Darien Gap between Colombia and Panama. But she and others said the most difficult part was the 3,000-mile journey from Venezuela was the route through Mexico, where migrants confront corrupt cops, common thieves, cartel thugs, and Mexican immigrant agents who detain them and often ship them back to southern Mexico. The Darien is difficult, but nothing like Mexico. And Carrillo, whose black shirt was torn in the back from an unsuccessful effort to cross through Texas raised wire barrier in Mexico. Anything can happen. But that's the end of that. I don't need to go anymore. It's almost at the end. But yeah. So now you see what I mean. This voluntary coming. She was a whole hairdresser. So perhaps she just want to get over here and, open up shop, a little hair shop or something. But still, I think I still smell something fishy. So let's go to our last article. Your food is in the microwave, babe. Okay, let's leave our last article, what I found to be interesting. Now, check this out. United Nations chief calls for slavery reparations. This was 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago. Y'all ready? Here we go. He's the UN chief, calls for slavery reparations. Now listen, y'all. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for slavery reparations over the transatlantic slave trade, which deprived enslaved people of education, health care, opportunity, and prosperity. We call for the reparatory injustice frameworks to help overcome generations of exclusion and discrimination, Guterres said Monday, which marked the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade. Y'all listen. Flag on the pole. Here we go, y'all. Hey, Choctaw. Monaga. Yellowhammer. Here we go, y'all. We appeal for the space and necessary conditions for healing, repair, and justice, he said. Now, here we go, y'all. More than 12.5 million Africans were forcibly transported by European merchants on their ships and sold into slavery. Some merchants profited off enslaved people's labor. Listen, y'all. Listen. Those who, here we go, those who survived, trips were put on plantations in Brazil and the Caribbean. Yo. Get up. Telling you when I'm fucking slaves. So many goddamn niggas over here, yo. On the mainland. I told you. Now this is the United Nations. I told you where the motherfuckers were. Why can't get your ass out of here? Yo. I told you. Get your ass out of here. YK, not a coincidence. The United Nations chief is telling you where them 12.5 million Africans went. Those who survived out of 12.5 million, those who survived trips were put on plantations in Brazil and the Caribbean. Get your ass out of here. I told you I wasn't playing. Them damn British records was right. I told y'all, just because these niggas look like us from the islands, Jamaica, they're Africans. Look at them niggas. They got the features. My family did not come from the Caribbean. That's who you see who's coming from the border. Brazilians, people from over there, the Caribbean. Yo, I told you who's coming from those places. Here we go.
42. Once a pandemic-era policy expires next week, asylum claims will be processed under Title VIII. I spoke with one migrant from Jamaica who says he's been here for several days. Take a listen.
We are here. We've been here 3 days already. It's difficult because we don't have anything to eat. We haven't taken any baths, and it's very hot. And it's very cold in the night. Just want to go to the US to get a work, to change my life and live a good life.
All right. Now, just like Empress always say, all skin folk ain't kin folks. We ain't got their features. I got a flat nose. I'm a North American mainland Indian. Don't play with me. 12.5 million slaves. They're telling you where they went. The chief of the United Nations is telling you where their asses went. And that's why I said the people in the Caribbean can prove where they came from by them damn census sheets. It leads them to the African. It leads them to their African ancestor. Not on the mainland, baby. Not The Indians that remained and didn't go to Oklahoma. Don't play with me, boy. I told you. I'm coming with the water. Ah! Ah! Fuck with them goddamn mainland Indians. That would be me. Coco Brown, baby. Hey, ooh. Yo, I can't do it. I'm not playing with these people.
ISO. Dama. Woo! Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Yo, it's too many. Hey, it's too many. Yo, it's too many. Yo, it's too many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. They know that. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't got a lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof. It's young conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof. Ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the deuce. Yeah, it's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe. We on the roof, smoking dope, look at the view. Yeah, we used to chill on the stoop, now we out here breaking the news. It ain't what you really could do, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't switch.
Yo, I'm telling you, y'all. Now, not a coincidence. Shay Sean with your Gary Coleman looking ass. Y2K, I think you better put a hold on your motherfucking book because you're going to need this bitch as a resource so you can backtrack your ass. All right? Because when you get on, what's his name? What's his name? Oh, goddamn. OTK channel. Here's your motherfucking source. Now, this is the chief of the United Nations calling this shit and telling you where the motherfucking brownies darkest came from. Let's go back. We appeal for the space and necessary conditions for healing, repair, and justice, he said. More than 12.5 million Africans were forcibly transported by European merchants on their ships and sold into slavery. Some merchants profited off enslaved people's labor. Those who survived trips were put on plantations in Brazil and the Caribbean. This laid the foundations for a violent discrimination system based on white supremacy that still echoes today, Couture said. Descendants of enslaved Africans and people of African descent are still fighting for equal rights and freedoms around the world. A UN report issued last year said countries could consider financial reparations for the enslavement of people of African descent, but it recognized the process of making legal claims and identifying victims and perpetrators is complex. Yo. Not a coincidence. Shay Sean. YK. Y'all, they know about y'all perpetrating asses. Yo, throw up some goddamn fire. Because now we got the names to put on the pan boo-boos. Because they the motherfucking perpetrators. Yo, perpetrating asses. They the perpetrators, y'all. Because they got they spit test. That's how you know who the perpetrator is. You ain't got to spit in no tube. Because you are perpetrating ass. Spitting in the tube. Jabari. Well, maybe not Jabari. He is from the Caribbean. But his genealogy. Sorry, Jabari. Y'all the perpetrators. Connecticut records and South Carolina records don't lead your ass to no slave ship. Boy, bye. They got a bunch of perpetrators your ass out of here. Under international human rights law, compensation for any economically accessible damage as appropriate and proportional to the gravity of the violation and the circumstances of each case may also constitute a form of reparations. All right? According to the report released in September. In the context of historical wrongs and harms suffered as a result of colonialism and enslavement, the assessment of the economic damage can be difficult owing to the length of time passed and the difficulty identifying the perpetrators and victims, the report say. Hillary Beckles, the chair of the Caribbean Community Reparations Commission, echoed Gutierrez's remarks. This is the movement that will signal finally the collective victory of humanity, a good over evil, Beckles said, according to Reuters. The CARICOM Reparations Commission was created to pursue reparations from former colonial powers like Portugal, France, and Great Britain. Yo, God damn it. United States ain't listed on that bitch. And hours ago. You have no proof. I'm the panda. I've been showing them all along, y'all. I told y'all. I knew what the fuck I was talking about. It's Jabari and them, YK, these agents swimming up in here, trying to prove this African descent shit. They ain't even mentioned the United States. And that was the end of the damn article. Let me get my ass, hold up. Yeah, that's the end of it. And you can have this article. Let me see if it'll fit in here. Copy. So now Sinetta, all them niggas. Perpetrators. So now the Pam Boo Boo's name as the UN calls them perpetrators. Hang on, y'all. Hang on. Now, there's the article. So, when I be on my lives, y'all, listen, I told you I come here to lecture, and I do research. That's right. That's right. I'm live like an Indian. So, what I'm saying is, yeah, the African is dead. They didn't even, because it didn't make sense in the United States. We were already enslaved. I keep telling y'all, the same shit that happened to the Indians in the North, they pulled it in the South. Just, your prime story. Just think about What happened to the Pequots? I've been trying to tell y'all the whole time. And they keep trying to blame the slave story on the United States. That's bullshit on all 4 levels. We Indians that were already here. The United States didn't want more niggas over here. Ben Franklin, they was like, no, fuck that. Don't bring them motherfuckers over here. No. We need to increase United States with people that look like us. I read that. Benjamin Franklin's observation of mankind is some real shit, yo. Facts. You're Indian, baby. You're Indian. And I'm going to keep teaching you and lecturing you. I keep telling you. When somebody, yes, I work for the government, but when I come on here, I don't represent the United States government or my local state government. That's my personal job with my personal life. I don't say shit about it. They got their own communications people. When I'm here, I'm in my tribe talking. And when I tell you I'm allowed all states' information, public information, it's all public information. We're supposed to. It would be disingenuous for me to work in a government all my life and not take on the initiative to teach you what I know. You know, you got the pan boo-boos who want to fight me and argue with me and tell me you're an agent. No, I'm telling you the fucking truth. Now you got the United Nations telling y'all monkey asses about them 12.5 million slaves, where the fuck they went and where they was brought to. And you keep trying to put it here. It was too many of us here. We was working with the Europeans when they first got here as a people until war broke out for them bringing so many foreigners in here like they're doing now. And the Confederate States is flipping out right now, like we always have as Indians in the past. What the fuck you keep bringing more people over here? What the fuck? Who do you think was saying that? In the early times when all them ships kept coming in and Ellis Island, if you watch Empress Hobart channel, she show you the ships of the motherfuckers coming in here. Not Africans, white folks to Ellis Island. And the Indians began to complain. You bringing too many people over here. Stop. That was our ancestors in the South doing that shit. Ben Franklin and framers, they was like, oh, fuck no. I'm speaking to you in Indian language in a manner that you can understand me. I'm speaking to a lot of populations out there. So if you're my colleagues and you're, again, watching my channel, let me do my Indian talk. Let me continue to educate my people. Let me be me. This job is not hard. It's very difficult job. I'm sorry. It's difficult. Because I'm fighting my own people who have been lied to about their history in these here 50 states. And they got to know. We didn't even fucking need no representative at the United Nations at that point because he knew where the fuck them slaves went. They know. They didn't mention United States for a reason. Yeah, they brought them to the Americas, but where? Where? Not on the mainland. We was already here. It was too many of us occupying every fucking place. Listen, yo, let us remind you of his story again. Because even in his original, when you hear the whole thing, he's still a little confused. But he's telling you on point. He's being on point.
African Americans here. But they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space.
Yo, that is a fucking nutshell. Y'all niggas ain't getting no reparations from the United States for being slaves to our own mammy and daddies in the South. What you can get is the restitution and the lies about education that they painted in the U.S. to try to keep you from understanding that, like, what is his name? The black guy that Dane showed. You're busy rooting for Gary Cooper to tell him to kill the Indian, but the Indian is you. You're the fucking Indian. We was rooting for him to kill Gary Cooper. Remember? What'd he say? You're rooting for Gary Cooper to kill the Indian, but you don't even fucking know that the Indian is you. All the old saying. Kill the Indian. Save the man. That went on over here. They talking about us. Kill the Indian, but save the man. Let's pull it out of him. And how we going to do it? Through Christianity. Smash that like button. Y'all doing so good with the button. Listen. You can't make this shit up. We ain't even, that's why my lawsuit was addressed the way it was, for the lying of the education, the indoctrination. Culprits. Just like you're colored and not that. All right, before all them fucking classifications, who the fuck were you? The Indian, that motherfucking remained. I keep telling y'all niggas, keep trying to treat me like I'm the new kid on the block and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I work for this government now 40 fucking years now. I done hit 40 years. And I know how it operates. And I know that United States didn't do the Kunta Kinte fucking story, y'all. They made who they wanted to fucking be, the Indian. Yeah, I don't shoot that. But you lied, you fucked up. They can't backtrack. That's why none of our documents in U.S. history states African. No, not United States. They know the United Nations man knows where they dropped the goddamn Africans off at. Let's go. Now, wait a minute. Where's old Betty ass at? African, old Betty, 100 years old. They knew. Keep telling y'all. I know what I'm talking about. They might as well just throw away all their little spit tests because you're not getting nothing from the United States. You're not getting nothing off my tax dollars. They got to fix what they did to the Indians. We got to stand up and correct our fucking identities like I told y'all. I didn't correct mine. But I'm telling you, Now you got an even higher place, the goddamn United Nations. The chief telling you where they dropped them damn 12.5 million slaves. We been here. We cuckoo brown, cute, copper-colored Indians. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm an Indian and that I'm copper-colored. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I feel more comfortable being visibly and visibly known and respected for who I am. Yes, they conquered our land, but I'm still not ashamed of who I am. Even though they conquered it, I never ran from my land. I grew up in the system, and so did you. And for Shade Shun, as soon as your book hits the motherfucking waves, I'm suing your fucking ass because you will not humiliate our grannies and our grandpas knew what the hell they was talking about when they told us we was Indian and how their grandparents was hung if they said who they was. And for you to disrespect our grandparents and our grandpas as they revealed to us, you Indian, baby. You're not African. When that goddamn movie Roots came out, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. And our granny corrected. She said shit at the door. No, you ain't no African, baby. You're Indian. What you crying for? Granny told you that you listen to your granny. She gone now. She probably told you before she died. Told you the truth. I know my mother's going to leave soon. But let me tell you something. I know my mama going to go. I'm preparing myself for that. But she going to die an Indian. Because that's all she talk about. When I'm able to call her and talk to her. She going to die an Indian. She stand on it. She's what you call one of them praying Indians. Because she's not going to let her Bible go. But she going to stand on that Indian in her. Just like old Emma did in Oklahoma. I ain't praying to no Jesus, no God. I'm praying to her spiritual. She was not playing. So whatever these pan boo boo say to you, you stand on granny. Because now they have officially lost. The United Nations speaks. And they have spoken. And they have told you where those 12.5. I wish Dane was here. God damn it. Miss, hey, Choctaw. I know this is Dane's. Let me see. 5:48. He might be up. Because he's a night owl. He do the third shift shit. Their spit test is a waste of time. United Nations ain't going for that bullshit. I thought I had the one. Did we do the one about Uncle Tom's cabin? Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much for the donations, man. Thank you so much. I truly do. I thought I had that one. Let me see if I got it. Nope, that's not it. I can get rid of that one. I can get rid of that one. Oh yeah, I think this is it. So, let me take a little water break. Hey, Sharice, Bad Saint. Hey, give me a 1 if y'all feeling that. Does it give you more relief? Give me a 1 if that gives you more relief, my sisters and brothers. That's right. Big dog. Shoot them 1s up, y'all. That's right. That's right. Hey, can't touch this. With my L, Bucky. Thank you, sweetheart. It's here it is. HY. There you go, Bucky. It's right there. So I'm gonna take a water break and I'm gonna open the piano because I want to hear it, y'all, because that's just the dagger right there. And it just changes the whole ball game. The whole ball game. So let me take a little water break. I need a little water break, y'all. Honest. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. Well, what I want to do is read this last article, the man who became Uncle Tom, and then if nobody comes on the panel or want to talk about anything, I'll let y'all chat like I did before, you know, and just leave you in the chat to chat amongst each other about it. But I really would hope someone stepped to the panel. And remember when Chief came over here the other day, he was talking about the emblem of America. So it is what it is. So let's read this last article. Right here. Present. About, these are the little stories that they've been trying to brainwash and put in our damn heads. And we 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 have to correct this, and we have to stand very strong on who we are. Among all the singular and interesting records, a man who became Uncle Tom, to which the institution of American slavery was given rise, Harriet Beecher Stowe once wrote, we know of none more striking, more characteristic and instructive, that of Josiah Henson. Stowe first wrote about Henson's 1849 autobiography in her 1853 book, A Key to Uncle Tom's Cabin. Hang on one second, y'all. Damn. Here we go. But you got to turn that down. And annotated sorts, which she cited a number of nonfiction accounts she had used as source material for her best-selling novel. Stowe later said that Henson's narrative had served as an inspiration for Uncle Tom. Pro-slavery newspaper columnists and Southern planters had responded to the huge success of Uncle Tom's Cabin by accusing Stowe of hyperbole and outright falsehood. Benevolent masters, they said, took great care of their enslaved people who worked for them. In some cases, they treated them like family. The violent, inhumane conditions Stowe described, they contended, were fictitious. By naming her sources and outlining how they had influenced her story, Stowe hoped to prove that her novel was rooted in fact. Yo, the truth is coming out because you know fucking well our families, grandparents, big mama and grandpa were our slave masters. And they took in people too. We enslaved people. A Key to Uncle Tom's Cabin was an immediate success. Its publisher reported selling 90,000 copies by the end of 1854. Abraham Lincoln himself may have read the book at a crucial turning point in the Civil War. Records indicate that the 16th president checked it out from the Library of Congress on June 16, 1862, and returned it on July 29th. So he checked the book out to read it and brought it back. Those 43 days correspond with the period during which Lincoln drafted the Emancipation Proclamation. Who was Josiah Henson? Born in 1789. According to his autobiography, he was enslaved in Maryland and in Kentucky and served as an overseer before escaping to Canada in 1830. He was an overseer. These were jobs, y'all. You got to understand this bullshit that they're doing. These African American study schools. Well, maybe it happened to some students, but are they from a fucking America? You got everybody in all our colleges now, all races of people. He had also made numerous return trips to the American South to help guide enslaved people to freedom. In total, Henson said he freed 118 people. That's not a lot considering the South. By comparison, Harriet Tubman is believed to have freed about 70. Now, you know there's some fucking bullshit. You got the South was loaded with Indians all over the place. You talking about all them damn Confederate states. And he was able to get 118 people. Get your ass out of here. A lot of us wasn't leaving our mamas and daddies, but a lot of us did want to leave. I first learned, because remember, you got to really look at this when you go into the South to free some motherfucking slaves. I first learned about Henson's remarkable life a year or so ago as I was doing research for a different story. I wonder why I hadn't heard of him sooner. He was one of the first black people to be an exhibitor at a World's Fair. He met with President Rutherford B. Hayes and Queen Victoria. He built businesses that gave black fugitives a livelihood after years of exploitation. Why aren't American students being taught about Henson when they learned about Tubman or assigned his autobiography alongside Frederick Douglass's? These was niggas that Abraham Lincoln was rocking with. That motherfucker walked right up in the White House. Only way you could do that, you got to be his boy. Just like Jay-Z walking up in there to deliver Obama's weed. Yo. But Henson was not Uncle Tom, despite being forever linked with the fictional character after Stowe revealed him as a source of inspiration. He longed to be recognized by his own name and for his own achievements. And he publicly wrestled with the role he had played as an overseer in abetting slavery's violence and cruelty. Henson's biography and legacy, I came to see, defied easy categorization. His is not a linear story of triumphs over hardship. Rather, it is a story that reflects the complexity and moral incongruence that animated the lives of enslavers and shaped the lives of the enslaved. It is a story of how a man who was at once a victim and a perpetrator of slavery's evils tried and failed and hoped and evolved and regretted and mourned and tried again. It is a story that reveals the impossibility of being a moral person and fundamentally immoral system. And this just goes in and on about the book. So you know the bitch was fictitious, and so was the Uncle Tom shit. But I saw a smoke signal in there. And I'm gonna drop the link because Smoke, I don't know if you heard the UN chief. Let me put this in the chat. Copy. This is the Uncle Tom bullshit. They coming out with the truth, y'all. Because for a long time, everybody thought Uncle Tom was some real shit, y'all. So, Smoke, I'm going to drop the link. Smoke, hit that link because I want Smoke to read this. This shit from the UN chief. Hit that link, Smoke. It's a little short thing because Smoke said he liked to read this shit. And now we can whoop their ass, Smoke. Come on up for about 5 minutes, Smoke. Anybody can hit the link, yo. I'll wait. I'm gonna wait. I gotta make sure that that's smoke. That's you smoke. I got a shield over it. Your mic is muted, smoke. Oh no, I can see you. Don't gotta turn it on. I can see you. You're up on the panel already. But I got an overlay. I'm gonna take this down because that is smoke. So now y'all gonna hear from the Tennessee voice, and I'm gonna let Smoke read it. Cause there go Allie. But okay, you can turn it off. I see you, Allie. All right, all right, Smoke. I'm about to share it right now. It's not that much to read either. This is from United Nations Chief. Here we go. You need me to make it a little bigger, Smoke?
Salute.
Hey,
Hey,
Smoke.
man. Shout out to the channel, to the panel, and to the chat. Power to the motherfucking people. Yeah, hey, enlarge that, Sister Becky.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay, let me know when you want me to stop. Oh, I might have made it too big. Oh, nope, I didn't. Where is it? Let me go back. Oh, no, no, that's not it. Let me. Damn, what did I do here? Oh, damn. Hang on, smoke, smoke. I I hit the wrong thing. Let me take this down and get the right one.
I just pulled up. What kind of information you been banging? I see you got old shot son irritated in the chat room.
Oh yeah, they irritated. Oh, yep, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Damn. Hold up. Smoke, smoke. Damn, what did I do with it? All right, let me get it this way. I just had it. Okay, here it is. Is this was? Yep. This is not the one that I want. Hang on. I think I got it. Yep, I got it. Dang. All right, here we go. Let me do the share screen. Share. There you go. UNT. This was March 25th. It was updated 2 days ago. Here you go. There you go.
Okay, this the article right here.
Yeah, is that big enough?
Yeah, that's big enough.
Okay.
UN chief calls for slavery reparations to overcome generations of discrimination.
That's United Nations. That's him. All right.
He look like a big Chinese. Okay, now this smaller print, can you enlarge that? Because that's kind of small.
That's what I tried to do before. I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
I think that's it right there. Yeah. Go down back to it. All right.
Okay.
March 25th. Reuters. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres. I know it's some kind of Spanish name. Called on Monday for reparations over the transatlantic trafficking of enslaved people as a way to tackle its legacy on today's society, including systemic racism. From the 15th to the 19th century, at least 12.5 million Africans were kidnapped, forcibly transported by European ships and merchants and sold into slavery. Those who survived the brutal voyage ended up toiling on plantations in the Americas, mostly in Brazil and the Caribbean, while others profited from their labor. It just sounds like the same old standard story. Okay. In a statement to mark the UN International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery, Guterres said the past laid the foundations for a violent discrimination system based on white supremacy, what we call pale degeneracy these days. We call for reparatory justice frameworks to help overcome generations of exclusion and discrimination, Guterres said. In September, a UN report suggested countries should consider financial reparations to compensate for slavery. The idea of paying reparations or making other amends for slavery has a long history, but the movement has been gaining momentum worldwide. This is the movement that will signal, finally, the collective victory of humanity, of good over evil. How noble of them. Hillary Beckles, chair of the Reparations Commission of the Caribbean Community Political Economic Union, said at the UN General Assembly, the CARICOM Reparations Commission was set up to seek reparations, including debt cancellations and support to tackle public health crises from former colonial powers such as the United Kingdom, France, and Portugal.
That's it.
That's all? What this right here say?
This is the last of it.
Let me go and read the last of it then.
Okay.
The Repair Campaign, which is producing socio-economic reparations plans for CARICOM nations, released a poll on Monday that showed 4 in 10 people in the United Kingdom agreed the Caribbean should receive financial compensation, while 3 in 5 agreed a formal apology was due. Vereen Shepherd, director of the Center for Reparation Research at the University of the West Indies, said it was time for Britain and other former current colonial powers to own up to their responsibilities. The Reuters Daily Briefing newsletter provides all the news you need to start your day. Sign up here. Okay, that's a commercial. Okay, that's all to say.
I'm saying, yes, but I kept telling them that it wasn't here. They brought their asses to Brazil and the Caribbean, not here. That's why they said the colonial powers, United Kingdom, France, and Portugal. This is the UN chief. And the United States is not mentioned because they didn't enslave them here. I keep telling y'all, but y'all don't want to believe me. They keep trying to conjure up these stories. Yeah, it happened, but not here. The 12.5 million slaves was brought, like he said, those that survived, they brought them to Brazil and the Caribbean. That's at the United Nations. United States wasn't mentioned. Were the Indians that remained? It was too many niggas here. How is a small little group of colonial going to bring 12.5 million slaves over here? They did that shit in Portugal and Brazil, not here. I keep telling y'all, if United States was the culprit, they would have been mentioned in the UN. What United States did to us was lie about our education and taxed us. Restitution, yeah. That shit, that's what I keep saying. Do not make their story our story. Yes, we were enslaved Indians. We were the enslaved Indians. They did exactly what they did to the Pequots. They did it to us. And then we had the Civil War in the South. The Pequots had their war first. I'm done if y'all got something to say. But United States is not mentioned. And that was just 2 days ago. Today's the 27th. And they even updated it 9 hours ago. They could have put it United States at that point. They're not going to put it because none of y'all niggas here, Indian niggas, can point yourself to an African ancestors like the folks in the Caribbean can. Like I said, old Betty in the Caribbean, British colonial. Those are the people they named. She's an African. Whoever Betty's grandkids is, they can point to that African that was brought over to in the Caribbean. Jamaica is the Caribbean. I'm done.
I mean,
These
it
niggas
is
around
what
here
it
running
is.
for
I mean,
reparations. They ain't getting shit.
You can't add nothing to it. You can't take nothing away from it. You say what it say, and if that's what they came up with, and whatever committee they was having, and they left the United States out of it, you gotta say they did it for a reason. I don't know.
Facts.
It kind of downplays that
while Jabari's running around telling everybody to take spit tests, it's over. You're not even mentioned in the slave trade United States citizens that remain, you Indians that remained and didn't go to Oklahoma. What you got to do is prove the United States brought you over here from Africa. You're not, because they didn't.
They're not gonna
Benjamin Franklin said, don't bring them mother. I'm using Indian language. Benjamin Franklin said, don't bring them motherfuckers over here. And they didn't. They went to Brazil and the Caribbean islands. That's where the British took them. That's why they call it British West Indies. And that's why they're like Africans. Because they do look like them. They might have upgraded from Fufu, but I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. But y'all got it. Hey, Alibama. Restitution, yes. For the education and the lies in our history, yes. We do need that.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Taxing.
From another mister. Now, I like calling Chief Morning Thunder, but if you prefer to only have thunder, morning, noon, and night, I mean, that's cool. But I really called for that specific conversation, if you don't mind, to walk with me and smoke signal. Power to the motherfucking people. First and foremost, and we might want to throw in there too this Russian connection about those ancient artifacts.
You're breaking up, Ali
in the museum.
Bamu.
Have y'all seen
You're
those
breaking up. I
displays?
can't hardly. You're breaking up, Bamu.
Have you seen
Real
the
bad.
displays in the? Hello, mic
Now
check.
we can hear you.
Mic check. Have you seen the Russian Museum displays of Black portraiture, flag on the play, but dark, ancient references, biblical and otherwise? So to segue back to the discussion of African chattel slavery, which is interesting, it's going to be analyzed and put under a microscope. They have yet to include the doctrine of discovery in this discussion. What do you say about that, Queen Mother?
I don't know why they're not bringing up the doctrine of discovery in the United Nations. Apparently, there's not been a call for it. None of us are representatives. We need to contact the person. If we're not going to walk in there and become a representative of us, then we're going to have to go with the representatives that's representing Indians to talk about the doctrine of discovery, because they know damn well they didn't get us from no Africa. I don't know about those statues you're talking about, but United States was not mentioned in the mix.
There is an effective reason for that, as you just pointed out. The simple logic was the colonial settlers here did not go back and forth across the Atlantic.
Facts.
That's first. Secondly, they were bereft and they were actual prisoners. The vast majority. Do you think any lords, nobles, and landlords, lords of the land in England particularly, but certainly not in Spain, Portugal, and France, that left their cushy existence and came to the wilderness, and I'm using air quotes here, the wilderness of North America? The dregs of society is what was sent here. This is so stupid, just in general. The absolute ignorance and illogical positions of people, not looking at the facts as they are. This is stated by them in their history. Transportation was an actual definition of punishment. Transportation was indentured servitude to the slave, and I'm using again air quotes, slave ship captains. When they transported that labor to the land, they leased them to the owners of supposed plantations, or what would be more accurate, the land speculators, the land grabbers who stole land and then used stolen labor. How about that?
Yeah.
So if we're going to discuss reparation versus restitution, and I will continue to underscore this is what's going to make this fall apart. Reparations in law and in history has been due to wartime activity. There is no recorded claim of a property, using air quotes again, because the issue that's going to be at hand is chattel slavery, a fact, and were live persons turned into property.
Yep.
Has that been fully analyzed? And then they're going to argue it's the individual that was owned, not the descendant. And who's going to prove that they're a descendant of an individual that was property? Now, you always bow to your legal expertise, but do you understand the framework of what I'm setting up as the supposed complaint? And the only reparations in the United Snakes of America that was paid to owners who lost their property. I know you know that, Queen Mother.
Yes.
So tell me, where is the precedent of property suing an owner? Even what's being argued here by Mr. Guterres, the UN chief, what he is only acknowledging is that Spain, Portugal, and Great Britain committed an international violation of law. I have yet to see someone state that there is jurisprudence and a ruling that slavery is illegal.
Yeah,
Now,
that's why they're
maybe you can
walking in.
clarify that for me.
It is illegal, and that's why they're still this
But
way.
where?
They're having a
But wait a
motto.
minute. Based on what and based on what precedents that slavery is illegal? And what type of slavery are you talking about? Are you talking about human trafficking? Are you talking about kidnapping? I mean, when you're saying slavery is illegal, what slavery? That's what I'm saying. This whole argument is fallacious until those facts are brought to the table. These are just
Correct.
speculative conversation. Where could you find a jury adjudication before a judge and a bench anywhere in any nation or in an international tribunal where they have showed you slavery is illegal based under what law and what violation that has been adjudicated? The only thing that has been awarded has been wartime settings, whether it's the Japanese, whether it is the small hats who are still receiving war reparations in 2024. How many years is that after 1945?
Or what, the slavery?
No, for war reparations that the state of Israel is receiving from Germany, another country. This is going on 80 years.
Yeah, about 80
But do
years.
you
Yeah,
understand
my
what I'm
dad.
saying, Queen Mother?
Yes,
See,
I
I'm
do.
tired of people making idiotic statements without the facts. There is no reparations for slavery.
Facts.
Now, are you familiar with post-millennium? Because I've said this to you before, but you're going to have to start bringing that up in these constitutional discussions because it is constitutional and it is international. Because under the Constitution, the United States Constitution, treaties are the supreme law of the land, correct?
Correct.
And treaties are based on international law.
Correct.
The international law of the Roman Empire is post-millennium. Have you looked that up?
No, I
It
haven't.
speaks specifically to a person that has been violated in a wartime setting and to be made whole again. I'm paraphrasing it now. That any circumstance for a prisoner of war matters whether it's kidnapping or enslavement or forced labor, et cetera, concentration camps, whatever you want to describe as the penalty or the injury is a temporary state. Now explain to me how chattel slavery is forever. Explain to me how a person gets born a slave.
To his mama.
No. Now you're talking about a biological process. I'm talking about under law. I'm talking about under law. Where is there a law establishing that chattel slavery, whether legal or illegal, and has proven that this experience in the Americas, particularly in North America, of the 48 contiguous states, the original 13 colonies, the American institution of slavery is reported as the peculiar institution, claiming that the Aboriginal woman who's been told she's of African origin gave birth to slaves.
Yep.
You see what the problem with this conversation is? That people don't focus on what are the facts in question.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm asking you, where's the proof? Where is the law? And where is the authority that a person is made into property first, and once made property, the female of that population gives birth to slaves. And slaves are perpetual servants under the doctrine of discovery. Do you see the connective tissue here?
Yes, I do.
Now, when is that going to be addressed?
When we address it, Simple.
Now, for the flipping
You,
comment
you
for
don't think
he
nobody's
who
going to
will
walk
not
out
be,
there? We have to address that
that's why I'm putting the facts on the table first.
by way of a
For
drip, undrip for the enslavement of the Indians.
okay, I got you saying that, but that's not actually what's mentioned, and it's not a law. That is something that's agreed
Right.
upon by organizations, the United Nations, and the Organization of American States.
Right.
However, the violations, which are the torts, talking about
Correct.
legal arguments here, the
Correct.
injuries are something that can be evidenced and can be documented and shown to have happened.
Correct.
Once there is facts that injuries have happened, not just a mass tort, which should be filed and will be filed, not just the individual injuries and the repetition of them over decades and centuries should be identified and laid out. But the argument still remains is what is defined as chattel slavery. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. A
And
tort
so when
claim
these
was filed.
people, well, remember all these other slave existences and systems, again, by the academic and the scholarly world, are not what is the American form of the peculiar institution.
Correct.
And we need to not, we need to stop getting it twisted and don't lose sight of the facts. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Next, the issue is the reparations that were awarded to the thieves in Reconstruction after the Civil War is more evidence compiling they were given reward for ill-gotten gains. First of all, the land was not theirs. How can you reward a thief back stolen property? You feel me?
I do.
But again, the people whose land was stolen, they haven't filed claims, have they?
No, sir.
And if you think your property, you can't. Can property inherit? Since now you're a live person, but you've been turned into a chattel slave in your mind, and you're not property of another foreigner who's not
Correct.
even from this land, can you voluntarily give up your birthright and your inheritance? Is that possible?
If they put it on paper, a lie can be made possible.
But now you're talking about paper genocide.
Right.
But again, my only point is people seem to be confused in understanding what is fact and what is evidence, as opposed to what is opinion and the word. This is a very dangerous word, tradition. Now, the lie is the tradition. The truth is the fact and evidence. And that's why this thing is going to fall apart, Queen Mother. So we're having a futuristic discussion with slow bus, mentally challenged pan-boo-boos that are going to stay stuck where their slave masters will keep them in perpetual servitude. But I will continue to argue, show me where there has been property adjudicating injury against an owner. Would that be the precedence that you'd have to be able to take to a court of law?
Correct.
Sounds like it's going to be thrown out, doesn't it?
What? It's going to be thrown out.
Any claim based on the context of you are a chattel slave or the descendant of a chattel slave. As for example, Dred Scott and Roger Taney. What was the argument Roger Taney said that Dred Scott could never make, even up into in the Supreme Court of this land? The black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect.
Correct.
Does that mean the white man has property rights to the black man? Is that what we're arguing here in law? Is it possible that that's what the argument is based on? And how does a black man own the property?
That's what the
property of the white man.
That's the pan-boo-boo story, not ours. We're not rocking with the pan-boo-boo story. That's their story.
Oh no, that's a given. I'm trying to logically discuss, which is an illogical discussion. Okay. It's an illogical discussion. From the first premise is you make a person into property. And the sanction of that is from the doctrine of discovery, from the Vatican, saying unbelievers, Saracens, pagans, infidels who do not convert or are not killed, because that's what convert or die is, right?
Yes.
Are perpetual servants.
Servitude.
That's the foundation. That's the entire framework. Why is that not in the discussion? Rhetorical question, but I think you get my point.
I do. Well, nobody was sitting up there for that discussion. So the woman that was there, she's from the West Indies, and that's where she was speaking from. They have no say so. They're not representative of us. This is talking to British colonies, nothing to do with us. United States is not on the table in that. The man spoke about where the 12 million slaves came from, and they are above those supreme justices. You're at the United Nations, and he pointed out where the slaves went and who took them and where they dropped them off at. So there's your 12 million slaves. Nothing to do with United States. They're not even mentioned. So on that note, smoke.
Do you see what Copper Aborigine said in that regard, Queen?
Yeah, I already did the Dred Scott. I'm not going to do that today because I want to allow the audience time to talk with each other. I brought Smoke up. I'm sorry, Bamu, sweetheart. I brought Smoke up to read that document so that they're clear on the disbursement of those 12.5 million slaves.
And I still think that's a fallacious lie.
I don't.
But
I don't.
even
I
if
believe that. I believe that to the
you
core of
believe
my
that 12
being.
million were transported, I
Well,
have a real problem with that number.
Well,
Which not
that's
only
their
the fact
score.
that the people,
You know what? I don't care. To be perfectly honest, Ali Bamu, I don't care if it wasn't that number. My point that I wanted to prove was they didn't bring the motherfuckers here within these on the mainland. Where they went is I don't care where they went. They didn't come here. So you can no longer put the Kunta Kinte story on my people. I am Indian, and we are the Indians that remained. We are not from the British Islands. I'm not. No one in my family history leads to there. A lot of people that are here now in these 50 states can trace their ancestry back to Jamaica and the Caribbeans. I cannot. My family are not Caribbean people, and probably neither are yours. I don't know. But that's where they went. I don't care where they dropped them as long as there's not a claim of them being dropped here. When I know what happened to us in our history, different lawsuit case. Education. We suffer indoctrination based on the education of these 50 states lying about our history and making us into beings that were not, reclassifying us from who we originally are. That's my problem. And then taking our lands and taxing us, reclassifying us so that we could be taxed. And then deciding in 5 civilized fucking Indians that they're going to acknowledge in the hell and fuck with all the rest of them. You're going to stay here in this state. You're going to become a citizen of your home state without us signing a damn thing. So I don't care where they drop these slaves off. That's not important to me, whether to believe it or not. As long as that chief said where they dropped them off, I don't care. They could have dropped off 100. Still, they wasn't dropped here. So that 12.5 million slave shit is dispersed in Brazil and the fucking Caribbeans. That's it. That's all I care about. So now you got all these pan boo-boos, these fake ass pan boo-boos and undercover pan boo-boos. I'm telling you, it's fucking over. Smoke, you got it.
Are you going to consider your anniversary?
I'm not going to talk about that right now.
No. I'm talking about the end of this month because
Oh,
the Doctrine
for
of
the band
Discovery
who was
was
dead.
was on the
Yeah.
30th. Are you
Yes,
going to
and they're
consider
dead
that?
again. They're dead again. Yeah, I am. They're dead again today. They're dead again. The United Nations chief just killed them all. Smoke. What do you think about it, Smoke?
Think about what?
That document that shows where them 12.5 million slaves went. Where the United Nations chief said where they went. And the United States not being mentioned.
I mean, I just think it's more part of the mush pie. I don't know. I mean, it could be some validity to it. Well, I don't even think. I don't know, man. I
They
don't
didn't bring
think.
them over here. They didn't bring them over here,
I
Smoke.
don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they went got no Africans at all. I don't think they had that. I don't think they had that kind of capability. I don't think the
Well,
white. I don't think the Europeans are mighty or mighty by any means. I don't think they had the capacity to go get Africans in the first place. Right? I'm
well,
saying anytime you see this history about some slavery or some conquest or something going on like that, it always got something to do with the indigenous populations beefing with each other and these motherfuckers sneaking in to take advantage of that type of situation. I don't think they was. I don't think they were. I don't think they had enough heart to go kidnap any goddamn body. I don't give
well,
Europeans.
I don't, I don't, I don't
And
think
then we
that
talking about white Europeans or black Europeans. Who we talking about
right,
here? You
right.
see,
Well,
the
that's
story is
not
too
mentioned. You're
convoluted.
right. Well, I don't think it's the UN chief was being convoluted. Now, it could have been black Europeans, but they didn't bring them here. And I believe that. Now, do I believe they kidnapped them? No. I believe they willingly went to come somewhere to get a a better place to live. And the West Indies punishments weren't like ours over here. It's very different from theirs, which is why they have a very close relationship with the Europeans. A lot of West Indians do not did not suffer the things we suffer with the Europeans that's here. Okay, they had a better relationship, which is why it was easy for them to get their own country because they have their own independence. We have our own independence, but this is our country. This land right here, mainland, it is our country. We didn't need to fight for independence because we're already in our country. Like Jamaica got their independence. Um, the other Caribbean islands have their independence. When you're talking about places like Haiti, all of them, they all have their independence. Like Central America, we didn't need it because we already have our own country, but it was conquered. That's why I tell people, Smoke, time and time again. When you hear this, what happened to the Pequots and the Indians here north that was just demolished out, the same shit happened in the South.
But see, that's my point, Queen Mother, that post Flamini talks about war,
Right.
prisoners of war. And it is not a coincidence that he refused to come below the Canadian border. He went there, lifting up the $5 imposter Siberian Huskies, calling them First Nations and Indigenous. That was to keep the string along of the identity theft. Now we've got Killers of the Flower Moon, and
Correct.
you've got this Muskogee Creek fake nation running across the country claiming they're going to sue across the Trail of Tears. This is where the focal point. Well, I'm gonna stop.
Now, the focal point, they can do that. But guess what? It's going to be their story against ours if we do it. We can't keep sitting on YouTube talking about it, which is why I did what I did. So, as long as if other people don't go and do the same thing I did, then what do you want to happen? We sit and we talk about it. I did it. There's nothing else I'm fucking gonna do. I gotta wait until my shit is hit it. They put a gag order on my ass to rap. So I mean, I fought for what I felt that was owed to us. So I don't know about anybody else's story. I did what I was supposed to do. My shit doesn't cover, it does cover a piece of the Killer Moon shit, but in other words, it names all of that, what was done to us, how we were reclassified, how we were lied to in education, the news media, and all this, calling us African Americans because we have brown skin and we know who we are. So I'm not gonna keep going in circles. My strongest suggestions, Bamu, is you should file a lawsuit because you got the shit down packed. I don't know what prevents you from doing that, or if that's something you got in the works. It's none of my business, but look, keep doing it because my shit is done. It's done. And that's it. That document, that is enough for me. And that's primary source information. It's primary. What Smoke read is primary source information. I need everybody to give me a 1 if you understand that. That came directly from the United Nations mouth, from the chief of the United Nations. That is primary source information. You think he's lying? Then bring a lawsuit against him, and I say good luck to you. Give me a 1 if you understand that report read is primary source information. I'll never lose that document. And they updated it since the 25th, and they still didn't list United States being responsible for slavery. Hey, big dog. Your mic is muted if you're talking, big dog.
There is a very key thing here on, if you notice, there's no mention. We've already talked about the doctrine of discovery. UNDRIP, out of the United Nations version of it, they're not speaking about indigenous people because of what? Where would these slaves be indigenous? Somebody brought it up maybe in reference to whatever his press conference was, but that is a UN document. In addition, United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, that's also in the background.
Yep, ADRIP, UNDRIP.
But where are they indigenous?
Where's who indigenous?
If we're going to discuss this issue of reparations and slavery, it would be from their indigenous origins. Would you agree?
It depends. Now we're saying that's big dog. Yeah, it is. Wherever they're indigenous from, where if they could improve, they were enslaved in the British Islands in Brazil, then that's where the lawsuit would stand. So I mean, they're supposedly have been forcefully taken from wherever they got them from. So they're claiming being forcefully taken from Africa. All right. So
but that would be having to prove their indigenous origin. Now, do you see what I'm saying?
Their
and then
indigenous.
There's another injury.
So if their indigenous origin is in Africa,
mm-hmm.
and they were brought to the Americas and dropped off in Brazil and the Caribbeans, their lawsuit is with the people that forcefully took them. Who forcefully took them? If that's true. Supposedly.
Mic check. Can y'all hear me?
You got it.
Much love, Sister Bethy. How you doing today? Smoke, my brother Alabama. Much love to everybody on the panel and in the chat. I like to answer that question, about that UN article, Sister Bethy. I think, what they're doing is they're basically stamping down their so-called history. Like you pointed, they wasn't brought to America, but they all was allegedly brought to the islands.
Right. They're brought to
You know what I
America,
mean? I
but
just
where?
think that's,
Yeah.
they're stamping. Yeah, I think they're stamping their, their lie. And the other question is, hearing what we suffered is crimes against humanity, medical genocide, and all those different things.
Facts.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, sister. Much love always. I just wanted to tap in and say that.
That's a fact. I agree with you 100%, big dog. 100%. That's what
Yes,
I'm
man.
talking
With the
about.
reclassifying, going from slave to Indian to
Yes.
colored, all of that's crimes against humanity. All of that.
I'm 100% with what you're saying. And I'm also 100% with Chief. He couldn't have said it better. Restitution. Difference. That's a big difference. I'm for the restitution, just like Chief Holiday. But y'all got it. Hey, Smoke, what's your thought? I mean, they could be lying about the 12.5 million, yeah. But my point was just to prove that they didn't bring their asses here and where they brought them to. But you got it, Smoke.
I'm thinking the United States would never admit that the United States would never admit. Right? I mean, they'll let it go as a social experiment, but they'll never officially admit that they had any African slaves. The United States will never admit that. Right? First of all, we know how greedy they is, and they don't want to fork over no type of cheese. So they'll never make that type of admission. And secondly, I'm saying it because it didn't even fucking happen. They just gonna have to get over it. It just didn't happen.
I
Sorry to
agree.
bust you niggas' bubbles.
I agree, Smoke.
It's a good
I
story. I
truly do.
mean, Roots was a good movie. It entertained us for a long time. But it didn't happen, bruh. It didn't happen, bruh. Get over it.
I
Because
agree,
that would
Smoke.
mean that would mean the only way niggas got over here is because somebody brought us here. That's all that story means. The only way niggas got here is because somebody brought us here. And we know that not to be true.
Facts.
It's too much archaeological evidence, it's too much oral evidence, it's too much scientific evidence, it's too much biological evidence. It's just too much common sense evidence. So the United States, right. They'll never see say that. But you got it.
I think there's two facts we're not, well, I'm not going to say we're ignoring, but that have to be addressed. This is a private enterprise, and they're going to argue private property. They're going to use that as a smoke, pun intended, a defense smoke signal. And that's also why the adjudicated response in the Reconstruction was compensating slave owners for private property taken from them. Now, the question is, did it get taken by the federal government after the Civil War? And how? Then we're going to start talking about convict leasing and the quote unquote penal system of prisoners. You feel me? But until that, which is the Civil War, that's 1860 to 1865, all slaves were private property. You see the convoluted argument, Smoke Signal?
I'm saying the
I do.
argument is I say the argument is convoluted because the people who find themselves in a prominent position right now, they put rules into place to cause it to be difficult when seeking redress. That's why it's convoluted. Because you gotta jump through all type of hoops to prove that you've been mistreated or you had something taken from you, right? Even though you got the proof, you're looking at it, you said that's it right there. That what was taken right there, that what was taken from me. Then they're gonna be like, well, how you proving it? How when was it taken? What was you called when it was taken? Who was the person it was actually taken from? What type of agreement was that was arranged at the time of the incident occurred? Okay, and a lot of that information is just lost in the sauce. You feel me? I'm saying we can easily identify the people who this happened to. We them people. Right? We them people. I'm saying, as the people who the thing happened to, we don't have to play by no rules that y'all set up after the event occurred, because you didn't have no business. You didn't have no business taking the shit in the first place. So I'm saying, if you took it without rules, why we think we got to have rules to get it back? That's what make it convoluted. Because we think we got to go by some rules to get our shit back, when that's really not the case. Right? We just got to get our shit together. Then we're gonna automatically get our shit back. But until then, they're gonna always be together, right? They're gonna be together under the guise of having our shit, right? And until we get together under the guise of getting our shit back, they're gonna always have our shit. It's just really that simple. We ain't gotta play by no 1,001 federal regulated ass rules, because that wasn't in play when it happened. That shit came after the fact to keep us from getting our shit back. Well, look, we got y'all shit, but y'all got to go through all this to get it back. I'm just saying.
Hey, Smoke. I'm gonna go to what Alabama was talking about.
Bro. Hey, bro.
Hold up, Jeremiah. Hold up, sweetheart. Hold up.
Nigga. Don't come up here hot, my nigga. Do not come up here hot. I'm almost through. Calm down, bro.
And I wanted to say something afterwards too, Jeremiah. So relax, brother. Go ahead, Smoke.
Look, bro, I only speak with common sense. You know what I'm saying? Because we understand the history of how this happened. We even know there's a lot of niggas that joined forces with the United States, with the British, with the French, you know, to even call some of this. But when it's all said and done, bro, it's our shit. Either we want it or we don't. I relinquish the flow.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real.
Can I give him his bomb drop real quick? Oh, that's the smoke.
And Sister Betty, you know that information.
Got it, big dog.
Yeah, thank you. That information that you were talking about earlier, I forget the lady name, and the 75 different people with Jesse Jackson.
Edelin, yep, she passed
yes,
away.
Yes, ma'am, that brought, changed the reclassification to the last one where we at now, African American. That was an excellent point that we can stand on.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? That's a point that we can prove. You see what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to say. You got it.
But wasn't that another big six? Wasn't that just a big six that went in the room?
Yes,
and came out of the room and pronounced us?
They're showing you in the face of they're putting the faces on the people.
Yeah, you said it was Jesse Jackson and 75 other council or the non-profit group or something like that. I'm a good listener. I know you said something about that, but yes, ma'am. They're the ones responsible for that.
Yeah, and the NAACP, and none of them provided any information of proof of us coming off slave ships. It was a tactic to keep us indoctrinated into believing this shit, y'all.
And under the corporation also.
Right.
And Sister Betty, I'm going to go back to Alabama point when he was asking how. And I'm going to go to the point of what y'all talking about. We got all the proof right now in front of our face, what we see in the media right now with Diddy. This is how they able to do this. Because he talked about the feds actually taking all our property. But you see what Diddy did the whole time. He ran underneath of that campaign of being African American and black to push our peoples into that classification. And you see how he just came in and snatched everything from them because he didn't know the law.
That's right. That's right.
Queen Mother, let me put one other fact of the record on this conversation. The insurance policies, which still does not get discussed. You find that a bit strange? Private property and
I would like to know where that's at. Where are those damn insurance? I would like to know. I asked you that before, Alabama. Where are these insurance policies at?
They're in the historical record of all the oldest insurance companies on this land. Prudential, New York Life, AIG, etc. There is a lawsuit pending from an individual woman as a descendant. Then you have the issue going on with Harvard University and that photograph, the famous one that you've shown and many others have shown. That supposed scarred back that Will Smith went and made the movie Emancipation on. These documents, they know they're sitting on. It disproves the narrative, but it factually proves who was held as property. And they don't want that brought to light. Now, let's not even get to the Latter-day Saints and the Mormons. And what about those billion records? Public records, I might add.
Oh, tell me about it. The reconstructed records. Let's put it in proper perspective.
But I'm telling you, it's the insurance companies, the bean counters, whether they be revealed to be the small hat individuals, the Sephardic, the Huguenots, the supposed, I've asked you this before, I really do think you should do a build on the history of Rhode Island and how 95% of the alleged slave ship captains came from that one colony. When you start focusing on that and you break that down, you bring the manifests that those ships were reported and accounted for with the bean counters and the accounts and were insured by the insurance company. Do you see how they're all attached together? And between Rhode Island and Delaware is ground zero. That's just my opinion. But, you know, one day we'll realize that.
Alabama and Sister Bethany, this is what I don't understand about these celebrities. When they even got access to all this money, how do these people not have access to their paperwork when it comes down to if they even is aboriginal to this land?
They probably do have it. That's probably why they're rich. We just don't know.
So how is they able to get everything snatched away from them like that?
Because they're under their contracts with the music industry.
It's called civil asset foreclosure. That if you do a crime, they have the right to take your assets. You know what I mean? I've been talking about this for a minute. You know, all the sheriffs voted for this, and we vote the sheriffs in. You know what I mean? So we both basically voting them so they can siege and take our assets if we do any crime.
Yeah.
But you know, the major crimes, they can take your assets, forge your, siege your money, freeze your money, and take your assets. But yeah, we've been talking about this for a minute.
And that's another thing. I never did Puffy's genealogy, so I don't know where that nigga from.
Well, I think she's maybe saying it's possible he's a tether. But when we start talking about Caribbean islands and their African stuff that you pointed out, the Jamaican example, it's still back to the record keeping, right? So to me, the triangle is now, you know, for those who may have heard, Washington, D.C. is the military leg. The Vatican is the religious leg. The city of London is the financial leg. Now, on our land, the colonies, Connecticut is where, and I know you know this already,
Constitutional state.
Hartford and a lot of the major insurance companies are in the Connecticut colony, right? We call it
Correct.
the state
Correct.
of Connecticut. Delaware is where 98% of all corporations the world over, not just on our land, are registered. And Rhode Island is the scene of the crime. Also, if there was transportation with slave ship captains, 95% of them came out of Rhode Island. So there's your triangle right there. Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Delaware. But y'all got it.
Well, my biggest question is, and I'm going to keep it a buck, why is it that what this chief of the United Nations states about where these slaves went to, were dispersed to, these 12.5 million slaves, if you want to say that's an alleged number, fine. But why is it that what he's saying matches the records in Jamaica, but it don't match our records? Clearly, we ain't in that group. There, what he says matches Jamaican records. Jamaicans can prove what this man said. They're at the United Nations talking about reparations, not the United States. They're where they're supposed to be. So their records don't match ours, but it matches Jamaica's.
Queen Mother, remember I shared with you about that woman, and I think this was Naomi Harris, who was a Bond girl. She played Miss Moneypenny in the latest Bond series. Went back to Jamaica and to Trinidad. The thing is this, remember I said about the Zambo is in the documents of her origin story. You might want to check that piece out. You know, Who You Think You Are is one of a competing series with Skip Gates is Finding Your Roots. Who Do You Think You Are, I think is what it's called or whatever.
Well, maybe Skip Gates from the islands.
Well, you know, he's a Negropean. If you ever listen to him, he actually, because that's all he heralds is European, you know, mixed blood, parentage, and all this sort of good stuff. But in Naomi Harris's situation, those anthropological forensic genealogists showed Sambo on the documents of her great-great-great-grandmother giving birth to what they would consider racially mixed. Mulatto, Zambo, and African was on their document, but you stay on it. Stay on it. Keep them running.
Sister Betty, can I ask Alabama a quick question?
Oh, please, by all means.
Thank you. Alabama, you talked about the Russia and the blackface. You know what I mean? What do you think about that, brother? I wanted to know what
you think that's a coincidence those relics are being revealed?
Yeah, because it's going around that they ain't authentic, you know, or Russia really didn't put them out. And you know, if you look at the blackface, the features of those pictures and those relics, you know, they still have European features.
You talking about the aquiline straight nose type of thing?
Yes,
thin nostrils, etc.
You know what I mean? Okay. So, and I kind of put it with the same thing that happened here when they did the blackface. You see what I'm saying? People impersonate, trying to be us.
Do you remember how?
Well, I wanted to know what you thought about that, brother. You know.
Well, I'm going to put a parallel. You don't remember what happened with Pope John Paul II? You don't remember how the rise of Poland that came out of it, and he prayed to a black Madonna and child his entire life? And what sits in Poland as a revered elder and religious motif is a black woman with a black Jesus child. You're aware of that, right? Now that goes back to the 70s when Pope John Paul got elevated.
You know how I am with that religious stuff.
I understand that, bro, but I'm just referring to...
When you talk about Jesus and all that, it go in one ear and out the other, bro.
I got you, bro, but I'm talking about historical
mythology.
I got you, but I'm talking about these pale-skinned people, because that's what you're talking about, the so-called Roman Empire, the Russian czars, and Poland with the Vatican. They put him at the head of that church, and right now we got an Argentinian right now, right?
But at Alabama, the argument is killed on black. The argument killed on black because once you put black in front of any classification, it's dead. You can't put black in front of no indigenous. You can't put black in front of Indian. You can't put black in front of anything because it kills out the race.
All right, wellness check, nigga. How y'all doing up here? I had to step away from a moment.
No, we good.
Y'all good? Okay.
Yeah, we good. Smoke. We were just tapping in about the blackface style that or artifact that Russia, you know, what Alabama was talking about.
Like right now, I'm going to court. Right, if I was to put, when I actually let these people know that my great grandmother was Spaghetti, if I put they the black Spaghetti, these people gonna throw it out of court because they're gonna be like, you already done messed up. Just like the older lady in the Tulsa incident. Once she used black, it killed her argument because she's supposed to stick onto her tribe and where she from and her heritage. Once you add black into the system, you automatically kills out the argument. That's what all people gotta realize. That's why I keep on saying. That's why I told Judge Joe Brown, civil little Mortiz. He know what that mean. Cause the more that I talked to knew what it mean. He even broke it down. He said, yeah. And he even took that word and he flipped it. He said, yup, black meaning dead in law. He knew it. The more knew it. So I know Judge Joe Brown knew it. So anytime we add that into any type of situation in law, it's going to kill us. When they say it, it's going to kill us. It might give us some confidence because when we think of black, because it was a reclassification to us, it might make some sense, but it don't make sense when it applies to law.
Okay, so another thing you got to realize also, a law that don't apply to all really isn't a law. You feel me? A law that does not apply to all really is not a law. It's just somebody telling you what the fuck they want to tell you, and you better do it. You feel me? So, yeah. You got to remember that part.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. That's easily said than done.
You know,
that's easily said than done, Smoke, if we wasn't in their system.
I know.
We in their system.
I know.
So if you in their system and it say that black is dead and law, it's going to apply to you.
Hold on, bro. You got to learn how to have a conversation, bro. Right? Ain't no such thing as their system. It's just a system. It's gonna work the best for those who work it the best. You feel me? It's gonna work the best for those who work it the best. It's like a car. You feel me? If you driving slow and somebody else driving fast, they gonna get there faster than your motherfucking ass is. It's just that simple. It's a machine, bro. If you scared to work the machine,
just because you stole something, that don't make it yours, does it?
For sure. You see what I'm saying? It's just the system. That's it.
Yeah, but see, they stole something, then they flipped it, they rearranged it, they changed laws. Like they even said recently on Diddy case, they said that they not even using the Constitution no more. They don't care. They not applying by the rules no more.
Look, bro, if the people don't know too much about the Constitution, right? It don't matter if it's being used or not. You wouldn't even recognize if a motherfucker was using it or wasn't using it because you're not familiar with it.
Hey, Jeremiah,
you don't know.
They've been stopped playing by the rules, brother. Years ago, they've been stopped playing by the rules. We're still playing by the rules. They've been stopped.
And that's why when Cut played that video, when Cut played that video about the black youth actually being a problem to their corporation, she telling the truth because the younger kids of us, they going to actually be ruthless. They not going to play by the rules because once they came up with this internet and everything is exposed. Just like Cat Williams said, 2024, all the lies is going to be exposed and the truth is going to come to reality.
Hey, Jeremiah, word of advice. Stop listening to those artists and comedians. They're lying to the people. They're part of the problem, young fella. Anything the comedian or any of them say, I take with a grain of salt, brother.
Hey, Big Dog, I understand what you said. I understand what you said, Alabama. Hold up real quick. I'm going to explain this real fast. I'm going to explain this real Alabama, let me explain this real quick, real fast. The thing is, I can understand how you feel, Big Dog, when it comes down to what you're saying. But see, things actually apply when it comes down to our generation because our generation is about a movement. We not playing by the rules no more. All that protest and stuff.
Hold on, brother. I understand what you're saying, but just take what I said. Those politicians, those actors, those entertainers, take what they say with a grain of salt, brother. Process it. That's all. Go ahead, Alabama. You got it.
I listen to the message. I listen to the message.
Hold on, Jeremiah.
It's a message in everything. Even when it comes down to somebody telling the truth or lying, it's still a message in between.
Jeremiah, I mean, I actually was speaking. Okay, if you don't mind, sir? Please chill.
You're
Now, big dog, the irony of what you just said was where I was going with. Not to trigger you, Smoke, the issue of nigga culture. Now, if what you just said, Smoke Signal, which you are correct, and big dog, what you are describing as what they are doing with Diddy, what has Diddy helped perpetuate worldwide with this nigga culture called hip hop? That the same niggas don't even control or get a penny of the profit margin? But what has that culture done to the American? Is it stamped us as slaves? Is it perpetuating that we're the gutter at the bottom of the society? Is that nigger culture, big dog?
Yeah, you
Did
can
he
say that's
fall
an
off or is he
element.
muted?
You can say that.
you're
You can say that's an element that doesn't encompass the totality of nigga culture. You know, that's just the
But
element.
that's been packaged and sold, processed the world over. What does that do to the image of the American? First of all, call out his or her name. And I know how you
I
feel
don't.
personally about that, but it's still a
No, it's not.
pejorative, which was to make property out of people.
Hold on. See, y'all be here. Y'all be hard to have a conversation with, right? Look, bro, it don't do nothing to the image of America. If it did do something to the image of America, why are so many hordes still approaching America? You feel me? So sooner or later, you gotta stop paying attention to the propaganda. It's nothing the nigga doing that's preventing anybody from trying to get over here, even at the behest of putting themselves in the proximity of the nigga. So what's really going on? Because I'm peeping game all the way around. Ain't nobody trying to go to Cameroon. They don't have a bad reputation there, Alabama. Ain't nobody trying to go to Mayor. They don't have a bad reputation there, Alabama. But yeah, the nigga got the worst reputation in the world. But yet, everybody trying to get here. Come on, bro. This way you got to make it make sense.
You're still proving my point, Smoke. They're profiting off the so-called nigga while the nigga is broke at the bottom of the totem pole.
And that's what I was going to say, because that's what they're doing. Right. They coming and stealing our benefits, using our benefits, basically stealing our identity. The same thing with the mosquitoes or the $5.
And it's not the nigga, it's the sellout nigga. It's two different types of niggas. It's a regular nigga and it's a sellout nigga. And the sellout niggas do that to the motherfucking regular niggas.
I like to put it a house nigga and a field nigga.
All I'm saying, the only thing that need to be changed really is who running this shit. It's just who running it, right? If propaganda has a spotlight on the bad behavioral conducts of the niggas and they benefiting off of it, then I say it's up to the smart niggas to get that spotlight off of them. That's what I'm saying. Or we committing that particular endeavor to another group? Because if we are, it'll never happen. So
but yeah, niggas forget this. Niggas forget this. Paleface is only the black pimento nigga. That's all they is. It's the whitewash version of the nigga. So they the same thing. And that's who running it. The black pimento nigga. And the aboriginal nigga, the sell-out aboriginal nigga, like to go to the black pimento nigga and actually infiltrate the regular nigga.
Look, bro, I'm not a religious nigga. I'm right. I'm not a religious nigga, but sometimes it be pertinent just to let you niggas know my stance is death. Where is your sting? Right, nigga? Come on, bro. Like, what's up? Yo, you think niggas can't muster up reserve? I have total faith in niggas. That's why I use the word nigga, right? I don't have to re-identify as anything. You know what I'm saying? This nigga land we in, it's America. This nigga land. I think niggas ought to get it back by any means necessary on my Malcolm X shit. And I don't think
Smoke, that's easily said than done.
Come on, bro. You exciting the kids in the background. Look, bro. And I don't think we got to be fair about that. Right? I don't think we have to be fair. I don't think we have to fight fair to get our shit back. It's our shit. We can get it back by any means necessary. Who said there was some rules to getting your shit back? Who said that? Let me holler at that motherfucker. We need to have a sit down. I relinquished the flow, bro.
Oh.
So, okay.
I
Hey,
agree
panel.
with you, Smoke, because we're gonna
Hang
end up
on.
like Haiti.
Jeremiah.
Hang on. Who is that? Moving silence?
That's right. How's it going, Sister Bethy?
Oh, good. Hey,
Yeah, it's moving.
You've been
Moving.
blowing up. You've been blowing up lately, Sister Bethy. Big time.
Thanks.
Oh, could you put that overlay back up, Queen
before-
Mother? Because I wanted to ask you about those brothers.
Hold up. I want to, because I'm going on 4 hours on this piece, and I want to make sure that the audience focus on this primary source document and understand what I was trying to tell them. Now, in that document, I just pulled that out so you could see this movement was signal, finally, the collective victory of humanity, of good over evil. Hillary Beckles, chair of the Reparations Commission of the Caribbean Community Political and Economic Union, that's what CARICOM is, said the UN General Assembly. The CARICOM Reparations Commission was set up to seek reparations, including debt cancellations and support to tackle public health crisis from former colonial powers such as United Kingdom, France, and Portugal. Now,
but you know what's funny, Queen Mother?
I'm not done. Please mute. Now, I just wanted to bring that back to your attention. United Kingdom, France, and Portugal. Very important, because that's who those colonial powers were that brought them and dropped them off in Brazil and the Caribbean. Now we're going to move to who this chief is. I always got to make sure that I know who the fuck is speaking here. And he is Antonio Manuel de Oliveira Gutierrez, GCC, GCL, whatever the hell it is, a Portuguese politician and diplomat. He knows his fucking country. He knows what he did. He knows not what he did personally, but he knows where the Portuguese brought the slaves. And since 2017, he has served as Secretary General of the United Nations, the 9th person to hold this title, a member of the Portuguese Socialist Party. Gutierrez served as Prime Minister of Portugal from 1995 to 2002. He's a late age boomer. He's born in 1949. He's 74. And he was born in Lisbon, Portugal. And his previous offices was president of the European Council from 2000 to 2000. Nationality, he is Portuguese. And his wife, and his awards, and his education. So this man knows his history. So this makes me feel a whole lot better knowing about where them goddamn slaves went, and just proves who the fuck the Indians are over here. And I'm like just losing my voice, and I'm done with this. And I think this information today, it really helps us be able to teach our people who the fuck they are and come out of them damn dashikis and wake the fuck up.
I was gonna say,
Bomb drops.
Done. It's done. Is Portugal, and he know what the Portuguese, where they brought the slaves. So
with that covering an Argentinian Pope, my point about the movement, Queen Mother, which is amusing, that movement did not start in CARICOM. That movement started amongst the American Negro, in Cobra, John Conyers. Reparations as a movement started with the misinformed wannabe Kunta Kintes and Kizzies in North America. Did not start in the Caribbean island. The acknowledgement by a Portuguese in the UN or the Argentinian Pope, who still was slick. He went to Canada. He didn't come south of the Canadian border. because he knows where the actual facts and the truth remains, because the truth is only here with the only American. I know you know I know what I mean when I say
that's fine
what I
too.
mean.
He didn't. Maybe the Pope didn't need to come here because he know where the fucking ships went. All I'm saying is the Portuguese man proved the point. He can go to. Maybe he needed to go to Canada. That's where he needed to go. He had no business coming here on the mainland because it wasn't nothing over here but Negro Indians. But
And those Portuguese, remember, they were given that part of the hemisphere under the doctrine of discovery. Africa and that continent went under Portuguese rule from the Pope. The Americas were under the Spaniards. But you got it, sister.
The South America, not the mainland.
Oh no, it went up. Remember, California, Mexico, I'm talking about when they split the world in half with the doctrine of discovery. They gave this portion to Spain. They gave the rest over there to Portugal. That's what he knows as his factual history. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, but still the thing remains, audience, wire, understand, you are the Indian, and I've been on here for almost 4 hours now. I'm tired. I got off my full-time job that I've been working since 4 a.m. I'm going to lay down and watch somebody else's show. I love y'all. Keep that in your brain. What this man said. You the damn Indian. I'm out. I love y'all. I'm out, y'all.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Man, get out of here, Jeremiah. Jeremiah.
They knocked down our bridge.
Jeremiah.
The immigrants knocked down our bridge in the city.
No. Can you prove it? Please stop.
Thank you, Smoke. Thanks, Jeremiah. Y'all later.
You're like,
see you, Sister Betty.
Yep.
I came in late, man. Jeremiah, how many more Aboriginal channels you gonna disrupt? I need to know. Immigrants did, man. Oh my God.